What an epic beginning to Broadstroke's inaugural episode of Walk on Roll, our brand new tabletop role-playing game streaming show right here on Twitch and also being simulcast on YouTube so that you all can participate with a walk on roll in our brand new Wizarding World story. My name is Kevin Allen, and I am so thrilled that you all could be here today. I've got my eyes on both chats, the Twitch and YouTube, along with the man behind Broadstrokes Productions and our man behind the camera, Justin Zagri. So everyone feel free to say hello to him. Justin is keeping an eye out for your questions and comments so that we can get to them and answer everything a little later on in the show. Because first, we have to introduce our cast of magical mayhem makers. She was the executive producer of Severus Snape and the Marauders and cameoed as the legendary warrior Alice Longbottom in The Great Wizarding War, Liana Manassian. Yay! Say hi, Liana.
Oh, can I talk now? Hello, worlds.
We were talking
I'm
about
Liana.
you were losing your voice, and I didn't think it would go so drastically from here to there. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Hopefully I
Yeah.
won't actually lose my voice, but yeah.
All right. He starred as the man, the myth, the marauder, James Potter, in Severus Snape and the Marauders and The Great Wizarding War, along with writing The Great Wizarding War, Garrett Schwackhauser.
That's me.
Totally epic.
I don't actually need these here. These are actually not real. I got laser eye vision. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to enjoy this amazing story that Kevin has not told us anything about. I'm super duper duper excited to be playing with all these amazing people. And you have a castle. I thought you had to like get a deed and stuff, but you just like have one.
Oh no, I didn't just have this lying around. This was thousands of hours of labor by at least 100 different grown men and wizards. But we'll get to that.
I'm going to tell you.
I got to introduce our next player. She stole the scene and our hearts as Electo Caro in The Great Wizarding War. Katie Katulik.
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, Katie Katulik. Are we? Yeah, that's my actor name. Schwackhauser as well. In case there's confusion. Hey guys, what up?
Thank you, Katie, for reminding me about the first thing I forgot to mention when we were talking earlier. How do you guys want to be billed? Like, so on that note, our final player, he was Peter Pettigrew in Severus Snape and the Marauders and The Great Wizarding War, the founder of the Pettigroupies, and the guy who got me into this exciting multiverse of D&D, Zach Jaworski. Oh, doing the reverse glasses off. Very nice.
Because I very much need them. Hi, everybody.
All right. Yes, the gang's all here. And we are playing D&D only in that we have dubbed this first season of Walk on Roll Dungeons and Detention. But we are in fact playing a game called Kids on Brooms from Renegade Studios and Hunters Entertainment right here in Southern California. It's based off their highly successful Kids on Bikes system. So I believe this is a brand new game for everybody here, which is great because if you are not familiar with this version of the game at home or the original game or role-playing games in general, that's awesome because so are we. We're brand new to this game and you can learn how to play right along with us in our judgment-free fun zone. If you do know how to play along, you might notice that we're going to have some house rules that I'll be working in and telling you about as we go along. For instance, our favorite one is whenever somebody rolls a critical failure, they must endure the agonizing defeat here in the real world by going off and doing a push-up.
I love it. Also, shouldn't they be
everyone
castle,
aware of that? I'm sorry.
Castle rules and not house rules, right?
Oh yeah, no. Well, casserole just make it more grand. So now you're doing a push up for your country and eternity, or
I will push up for eternity. Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
exactly right. They'll sing
Is that
songs about that push up you did.
is that in addition to the adversity token, or is that different?
That's an actual role of the game.
Okay.
And again, I'll be catching up everybody as we go along because I'm assuming everybody in the chat. And by the way, hi chat. Wow, you guys are really vocal in Twitch, and that's where it's supposed to be. So thank you so much. I only want to keep my eyes on one conversation at a time if I can. And on that note, since I'm looking in the chat, everybody says hi, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
All right, thank you all so much for being here. This game would still happen without you, but this show and the grand feeling behind it all would not have happened. I wouldn't have gone this far out for just my friends.
It's true.
Anyway, so Liana, just in case you were unclear about this fun house rule, the critical failure only happens when you roll a 1 with your d20. That's what makes it a critical failure, because anyone who tuned in last week's session 0 might recall that each player has assigned a different character attribute, brains, brawn, fight, flight, charm, and grit, to a different polyhedral die. So only when they completely mess up at the one thing they're supposed to be good at is it considered critical.
That's the
All right.
push-up, right?
That's when you do a push-up. Absolutely.
Got it.
And speaking of last week's session 0s, you all collected your required materials for your forthcoming wizarding education and made your way to what some refer to as the Wizard's Portal at King's Cross Station. So I think it's about time that we jump right back into our story, and it's going to begin with the one I think arrived first, went the most direct route, the Chimney Network, Zach. All right. Zach, if you recall, you and your father, you had just left your mother's house back in Ottawa, and you've, in a flash of light, arrived to what your father recalls from his youth as King's Cross Station. Out before you is a sprawling platform of red brick and noise. Before you, under the respective signs of platforms 8, 11, 12, and 13, are steam engines whistling and humming, churning, crowds bustling, and all sorts of different manners of robes and styles. Your makeshift blue robes that actually fit a little further in this setting because everyone's dressed completely different. Though there is a larger swath of black amongst the crowd than as before. And which is great because you are wearing your brand new students' robes. So, you've arrived. How you feel?
Oh, it's really happening, isn't it?
Really happening. Your father says that. Yeah, this is really happening. You've come a long way from just hearing my stories. Let's move out of the way of the coming crowds. And so he pushes you further a little out from where all of the chimneys are dropping people off. And he says, now this is a little bit different than I remember. We didn't take the chimney network straight into the platforms. In fact, we didn't go to these platforms. Which one did Joe let us say you were meant to be at again?
I pull out my letter, and and he's just kind of fumbling over it. And he can't seem to find. It was on here somewhere on the
Second page, toward the bottom.
And I legitimately, what number does it say?
There it is. Oh, lucky number 13.
13. There it is. So we just wait for the train and it's there.
Yeah, but if we can care to make your way down now, we can load your luggage up so there's one less thing to worry about, and then we can. Oh goodness. I guess then we can say our fond farewells for the semester.
Yeah, I'll be brave for you, Dad.
I knew you would be. Thanks.
This is
Alex.
gonna be amazing. I'm gonna make so many friends.
Oh,
It's gonna be
absolutely.
it's just gonna be just like you at school with your friends. We're gonna go on adventures and I'm gonna learn things and I'm gonna be a real wizard and and it's gonna be like everything you told me about.
I'm sure it's going to be all that and more.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be your adventure now. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
it's up
Mm-hmm.
to you.
Yeah.
You're the captain of your own ship. Yes, you are the master of your own life while you're away. As soon as you come back, it's back to me and your mom.
Yeah. And he just kind of like holds on to his dad's hand as tightly as he drags him toward Night 13.
Fantastic. So you guys, you slowly and casually make your way down. I think you've got a fair amount of time. No one seems to be running around screaming their heads off and calling for, last call for. So you're just kind of, I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, taking it all in.
Oh
Just
yeah.
all the sorts of people and the little animals on their shoulders and in their bags and following them around. All of the spells whizzing through the air.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe you haven't noticed the trains per se, because as you go down, they just kind of, in my opinion, get a little more interesting. And when you come down to platform 13, and you only recognize you're there because there's not that much path before you anymore, you can see, whether you really are paying attention or not, the conductor out of the corner of your eye standing there in his navy suit and hat, twirling a pocket watch. And right behind him is a gleaming silver train. It's sleek and cylindrical. It's got a tiny headlight in the front, a very angled, I don't know the other word for cowcatcher, and at the bottom, and kind of like a fin going up the nose of it and down the top.
Is this like the one you used to take to your school?
Your father says absolutely not. Is this a steam engine? It must be a steam engine. No, it's a steam engine. I see the steam pouring out of it, but no smokestack or. No, this is far more. Well, it's retro futuristic, if you ask me. Um,
Okay.
Mine was far more colorful.
Well, as long as it works, I think it'll be great.
Well, I suppose you could ask the man if it's been inspected or do one of your own, or but I I trust it would work if it got all the way here
Good
from.
idea. Uh, sorry, excuse me. Is this your train?
Oh yeah, you born the Mercury steamliner here.
I am the. What's it called?
It's a steamliner, and this is
Oh,
the Mercury steamliner.
oh. Yes, I have a ticket for this fine train.
Yeah, do you?
I do. Wait. I look up at my dad. Wait, I don't have a ticket. I'm supposed to be. Oh no, we forgot the tickets. Oh, they're not gonna let me go to the school. Oh no no no. 1 second.
Oh, there must be a ticket. So I don't remember there being a ticket. You opened up a letter. There was the one page, and then there was a second page.
And I'm just
Was
like
there-
flipping over the letter back and forth in just like
Great.
spinning it.
Yes. So when you flip it, just the same way that the second page just kind of flew out of the back, like kind of
Hmm.
unfolded itself.
Hmm.
From the bottom of that second page drops down a gleaming ticket. It is white with gold lining and trim. Very angular and pointed. Lots of rays coming from the corners, and says Mercury steamliner to Hayvenhearth School.
That,
Admit one
that
plus
this is it.
Miller.
This is it. Yes, sir. I have my ticket. This is a fine vessel, right?
And the conductor grabs the. He's just chuckling at this because Oh man, overly excited wizard kids never get old. So he takes the ticket and he says, "Oh, right you are. This here is an express ticket. You just hand that to Miss Olge on your way in, and we'll be seeing you." And he tips you to your hat. If you need anything, call for Conductor Cornelius. Cornelius.
Cornelius. Okay. Then I guess this is it.
All right. So he says, "Oh, luggage right this way." So you
Right.
and your dad head down toward the other end where there are crew from King's Cross helping load up the luggage onto the appropriate car. And you guys make your way to go take care of that. It is a bit of a line, we'll say. All right. So while you guys are taking care of that, we are now going to go and check in with the other member of the group who decided to take the Chimney Network. Liana. Hi.
Hi.
All right. I love that you're wearing an appropriate t-shirt for your character.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
tried to be
have
like Y2K.
that's next season. It's next season. We're in 98.
It's the style though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There isn't an uprising against muggle or non-magical technology and one fell swoop to destroy it until next season, but spoilers. So
Yeah.
yeah, I really did plan that. And now we're just like throwing it all out. All right. So because it's so perfect. So Anahit Crowley and and her entire family, her perfect older sister, her well-established older brother, her uh, author father, and oh boy, busybody magical mother and potions master are accompanying you through the Chimney Network. And if you don't recall, I'll just remind you, Liana, that right before you stepped through the Flu Network and flew across the world to King's Cross Station from Seattle, your brother snickered at the mixtape that was in your hand, given to you by the cute boy from last week. So you're coming out of the chimney, little rosy cheeked.
Yeah. Definitely feeling embarrassed right now.
So your mom, like kind of just leans over to you, like, "Are you okay, honey? Is that all right? Are you sick? Is everything okay?"
I'm fine, Mom. Just don't worry about it.
Okay, because if you need anything, I'm here to help. I brought some
Um,
medicines. I know it's a little constraining the first time.
it's not that. Don't worry. I'm fine.
Your brother is just kind of he's loving this. Like he just meant it to be like a little like poke, but now it's like a full on jab, and he's just off the side snickering, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sis."
Yeah. Thanks, Apollo.
um. So your sister has moved forward into the fray, as it were, and is kind of looking around and going, "Well, I've never been here. This is kind of neat. There's a lot going on," and she's making notice of everything, the mix of people and trains, and that this is like a wizards only section of King's Cross. So how fun is that?
Yeah. It's fun. I have no point of reference really, so it's cool though.
You were Anahit, you mean?
On heat.
Okay, sorry. I don't know you were playing. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Don't worry.
And your dad's like, "Yeah, I've never really made it my way out. I went to London one time and I crossed through King's Cross, but I was going to King's Cross, the Saint Pancras. So I passed through. I never really put my head into the terminals. I didn't realize there were 13 of them. And and uh your brother, who he's been around, he's like, I don't think there. Well, I didn't think there is either, but apparently here we are. And so your whole family is kind of like, except your mom, she's still on like making sure you're good because moms. But your whole family is just kind of like, well, this is a step up, like than what they were expecting from this two pieces of parchment folded together. So, again, people everywhere. There's 3 trains happening. Yours is at the last one on the left. What do you feel like doing?
Yeah, I guess we should head to the platform.
Okay. Your brother says, "Yeah, we can like finally put down all this luggage." And like your family is carrying your luggage for you because they're just those kind of overachievers. Um, but you know, your brother's whining about it, so whatever. Uh, so you guys make your way down. Um, anything on your mind is for conversation, or are you just like soaking it all up?
Yeah, I'm just looking around, taking it all in, and like wondering where this platform is, and also wondering who am I gonna sit with? What's it gonna be like?
Ooh, indeed.
Will I make friends?
Your mother, who is still kind of doting on you, for the lack of a better word, is chiming in like, uh, Anna, honey, you're still carrying all those tapes. You're sure you don't want to like put those in a bag
Oh,
or something?
I totally forgot I was holding these.
Yeah,
Um,
everyone was too lost in the moment to remember that you were just carrying some loose cassette tapes.
yeah, I should just put these in my bag with all my other crap.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so you got yeah. So you set some bags down, then everyone set some bags down. They set down the cat carrier. They set down your luggage and your backpack. As you get yourself arranged, and um, the overhead speaker announces, platform 13, streamliner to school, Hayvenhearth. We'll be leaving in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's very soon. I think that's my train.
Um, okay, so you're that's okay. Let's pick up the pace then. So you head down, and the conductor there's a man in navy blue, and he's got a hat. He's being very familiar, and he says, boarding is to. I know my left and my right. Boarding is to the left. Luggage to the right. Luggage loading to the right. Train leaves in 5 minutes. So your dad volunteers and your brother to go help load up luggage. They just grab everything because they're the overachievers, so they're just grabbing everything from you except the bag that is like probably on your shoulder with all the cassettes and stuff in it. And as they start to walk away, they're carrying Luna, your cat.
Yeah, Luna,
And
can Luna sit with me?
great. So so you say that out loud?
Yes, I say
Yeah.
it out loud. Can Luna
So,
sit with me?
yeah, your brother turns around. Sorry, because you, all of the noise, you were just a little quiet. I just wasn't sure that you were gonna try to get your point across. So your brother hears that, and he turns around and he just like hands you Luna, and then runs back to grab, and because now he's got 2 hands he can grab the luggage with, and goes running off to catch up with your dad. So it's just it's you, your mom, your sister, and your cat. Um,
This is like really overwhelming. I didn't think that I would feel so overwhelmed. I'm kind of nervous.
um, and your mother says, "Yeah, well, for what it's worth, I am too. This, this is big. This is big, Anna. This is big, Anna. Um, Anna, are you sure you're okay? You sure I mean, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." And like your mom's kind of really talking to herself. in this moment. You can see that she is like flustered. Um, and now your sister chips in and says like, and says, "Mom, I'm sure Anahit's going to be just fine. There's nothing to worry about. Um, it's just a new school, you know, and it's exciting."
I've never even used my wand before, though. What if people make fun of me?
Your mother leans down and she says, "Honey, we're wizards. We're wizards from Seattle. And we live among non-magical people who think we're weird. And you know as well as I that weird is in, you know? It's the 90s. Like, we're what's popular, the weirdos. So if people make fun of you, just know that they wish they were more like you."
I hope that's actually true. Or I know you're trying to just make me feel better, but yeah.
And your sister steps in. She's like, "Look, kids are mean. Like, they're just gonna be that way. You know that. But like, you know, you're great. You just keep being awesome, and you'll be fine." Um,
You're right. You're
and
right.
you know, then you just have and if it gets too bad, you just have to get really practice that wand and show them 1-4, and your mother goes, "Rose, stop." And sister's like, "What?"
Thanks,
True.
sis. Yeah.
Yeah, your sister like kind of just like nods at you. Like, this is the first time you guys are like, yeah, like, yeah, we get each other. We get each other. So, uh, you're talking, and you're right as your mother says, "You know, I wish I'm not sure you could really get a practice swing in here right now, but I'm sure the opportunity will arise, and you'll get plenty of training with your wand. After all, that's what you're here for. This is Everything's gonna work out just fine. Something's gonna work out just fine." And your dad is walking up as he's doing that, and now he's like comes up behind her, hands on the shoulders, like, "Okay, all right, honey. Yes, you're right. She's gonna be just fine." And he says, "Ani, this is really something special, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Um, I, you know, kick ass."
Thanks, Dad. I will do my best to kick ass.
All right. Are we having a family cuddle, as it were, or
Yeah. Is my brother still here too?
your brother is watching all the luggage because there's a line.
Okay.
So you're right. So not yet. So while your brother is waiting in that luggage line, and you're catching up with your family, we'll pause again and we'll go to the next person who came over with a different method. Um, by I'll call this a skipstone shuttle bus, and that is Garrett.
What a streamlined name. Skipstone Shuttle Bus.
Yeah, well, you were in a weird thing that I didn't plan on doing.
Love it.
But you basically took, you know, the magical object that just teleports you halfway around the world, except you were inside it because it was a whole big bus.
Yeah. I kept my eyes
Um,
open the whole time because I'm not letting any of this magic stuff get by me, okay?
that's right. You reminded me.
Very discerning.
You're quite adept at traveling via teleportation now.
Yeah.
And
So my
stubborn
family
about.
and I, if I remember correctly, we were coming in through the wall together, right?
That's
Me,
right.
my
You
dad,
guys,
and my mom, and my orangutan.
yeah, you guys are coming across the street, running through King's Cross proper, past platforms 8, 9, and 10, all the way into the walls. So you guys took a little longer than the other two did. Um, so you come in right as you hear that announcement. You know, the Streamlight Level, Havenhearth School will be leaving in 5 minutes.
I looked at the letter in my hand, just and to make sure that it's the same stream letter. Obviously, it is. I say, okay, come on. We don't want to be late, right? And so I take the whole family towards number 13, I guess. I just look for number 13 and I just kind of go. I mean, we've been like entrenched in a wizarding community for like a couple months now, so I'm not like weirded out by all of the robes and stuff. But I'm also pretty big. I'm like 6 feet tall, even though I'm young still. So people tend to just kind of get out of my way. But I still, as I pass, excuse me, sorry, excuse me, pardon me, excuse us.
Yes. You are not weirded out by the presence of wizards, but what might be throwing you off your game, because you can see a little better than everybody else, is just like how many different types of wizards there are. You are seeing all manner of dress. People aren't just wearing um, robes and stuff. And you, as a connoisseur of fantasy literature, like that, this is where it really feels like a fantasy book for you. It's it's more than the wizard community that you've been adept to. Everyone is wearing fantastic outfits. There's all sorts of creatures that you haven't seen before from all corners of the earth.
Do I see any big hats? Are there big, ridiculously big
There's
hats?
big hats and small hats and flat hats and hats with no brims. There's every kind of fez, fedora, bonnet, Stetson, like, but all of the wizardy varieties. So those, but pointier, and with more ornate tassels and accoutrement.
Oh, I
So
love it.
yeah, I mean, it's like it's a wealth of inspiration for you.
As much as I think for the first time in since this trip started, I genuinely smile and kind of look at my dad like, you believe it? He looks like Gandalf. And I point to some guy dressed in what I imagined would be a Gandalf-y type wizardy outfit.
And yes, you do in fact point to someone wearing a very long thobe and has kind of like a wide brimmed. Yeah, it's not like the pointed thing. Actually, no, I'm gonna take it back. It is the pointed thing, but it's not a wide brim. It's a very short brim,
He's got the thobe.
wide with like a drape in the back, and yeah, it's um
I just
great.
like for just a minute. I think JJ's face just like lights up, and I'm maybe cautiously excited, maybe.
Okay, your dad, on the other hand, is like just floored. There's can't make heads or tails. Like it's just where do I be? Okay, I see the numbers. Other than that, there's 11, 12, and 13. It's just there's so much there, and none of it is familiar. So he's just kind of like, just kind of
Say,
like you're like he's following you as you're making through the crowd and like nudging and bustling people. Um, but
very
then
non-confrontationally. This is an important caveat. I'm not like pushing people out of my way.
I know,
I'm very much like in the
yes,
service industry when you're trying to tray pass and you're like squeezing around folks because you're like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't be here, but you should. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yes,
I turn and look back at my dad and I go, it's like one of our games. This is so cool.
okay. That's like, yeah, yeah. Wow, God, I wish I had this imagination. This this is incredible. Look at all these people. Look at all these people. Oh,
I
and he kind
immediately
of realizes
yeah.
that like he's kind of just been like absent-mindedly following you, and he starts to realize like, oh, we're here. And then he sees the train, and the
Mhm.
train makes him go, huh? Because you both have been feeling like you're wandering through a fantasy setting, and then you get to the train, and again, it's very retro future. He's like, oh, this is chromier than I would have imagined.
I'm looking around. Would I recognize it as like a bullet train that I've seen in pictures? I know maybe I think those just started.
No, it's not a bullet train. It's not as like bullet trains are like one shape, you know? This is close. It's shaped like a bullet in that it's round and kind of just comes to a end, like a spherical end. And then
Oh,
there's the headlight, tiny little headlight on the front. And then very geometrically, cow catcher, shark fin, lines down the side and maybe like some windows kind of like built into that curve, and then it just goes back. And like a bullet train, you really don't see the wheels underneath. They're covered by whatever that's called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trim.
sure.
Train trim.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, train
So
trim.
as
Makes
I
it go
see this
faster.
train, as you're describing it to me, it reminds JJ of Blaine the Train from the Dark Tower series that he and his dad read together, and actually makes JJ kind of stop in his tracks and like step back and grab his dad's hand, and he's just like, "Oh, Blaine the Train is a pain," and they have this like little moment because in the book, it's not a great train to be a part of. So it's not good memories. They all almost die in the book on this train. So yeah.
Oh man, oh that's awesome. I'm glad I picked this one. Um,
Thanks a bunch.
yeah. So your dad again is just like, oh man, now I'm nervous in a whole different kind of way.
As long as we don't go to Topeka, Kansas, right, Dad?
And then your dad like remembers, and he kind of like ruffles through the letter, and it's like, where is this going? I never figured that out. And as he flips that page, the ticket unravels from the back, and flutters down, and lands in your shoe. Why not?
Okay, great. I pick it up and read it. I love reading things, so I do that. What does it say? And
Um, it
Dad, can you read it
says,
to me in your best Keanu Reeves voice?
"Oh, you're asking your dad to do another impression."
Yeah, it always calms my heart when you do that for me.
Your dad says, "No problem, son. As always." You know, oh boy. Dad says, "Streamliner to Hayvenhearth School. Admit one plus familiars." And then,
Oh,
and then it goes, "Whoa, 10 hours."
Dad, it was hard to tell because of your amazing accent that makes me feel so much better. Um, it said familiars or families?
It says familiars.
What?
You're gonna have to just, I can't, you're just gonna have to write it all down for me. And he hands you back the ticket. Uh, and says, "But I'm," but then, as he hands you the ticket with his right, and with his left, he grabs your shoulder and says, "But I'm really glad I got to be here, and that you shared this with me. This is really something special, JJ."
No, you have to come with me. You have to come with me to at least see that I get there. Hold on, and I look around for like a train conductor or an authority person.
Okay. So you look around, and he's rather noticeable. You see the man in the blue, the hat, who's directing people, and I mean, we can make it a brains roll if you want, but I feel like you've figured this out. Do you want to do it?
I always want to roll when I play role games.
Okay.
My
Let's
brains are
do
pretty good. I got a
let's
D12.
do the first roll of the official show. Yes. And it's a brains roll. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Brains is pretty good for you. So
Yeah.
again, you you only have to like find a noticeable man who's dressed differently than everybody else shouting about the train. So 3.
Perfect. This would be very difficult in an LA metro station. I'm just going to tell you that. Men shouting about trains are everywhere.
But this is European public transportation, and they know what they're doing over there.
I don't get any additions, correct? Oh, no, I do. Oh, no, I don't. I don't. Okay. I got a 6.
Okay. So again, there's a lot of people here, and they're all wearing different outfits. You can kind of figure out who the kids are because they're shorter, and most of them are wearing black. Not all of them, but you keep your eye on the adults, and you've got a good view over the heads of all the children. But people are running around everywhere because they think that the train is about to leave. So finally, through the crowd, you see a very busy man shouting unintelligible directions at people, and whose focus is split everywhere.
I get my dad's attention and say, "See that guy who looks kind of like Alec Guinness? I think he's the conductor guy." And so I run over to this man dressed in blue who has a strange resemblance to Sir Alec Guinness.
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, can I help you, sir? Oh, young man.
Hi. Sorry, we're supposed to be taking this train to Hayvenhearth School, and it said that
Boarding is on the
familiars.
left. Luggage is on the right.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we got that part. Sorry, it says that only familiars are allowed, but my family is supposed to take me to the school and drop me off, and they were going to spend some time in town and make sure that I got settled and everything.
No, only students allowed on the train. Sorry.
Well, that can't be.
Yeah, luggage on the left. Luggage on the right. Boarding on the left. Sorry, was that?
No, I'm new. Sorry, I didn't think
Right,
I was a
yeah.
wizard until 3 weeks ago. So they aren't leaving
Congratulations.
without me.
Right, all the students are leaving the families, yeah, and they're all heading off to school
I
together.
don't want to do that.
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, sir. It's only room on the train for students, and only students admitted out of school.
Can they meet me at the school so we can get settled in?
Well, that you take that with school, but they can't board the train.
Okay. Okay.
Luggage on the left, boarding is on the right. Leaving in 3 minutes. Is there anything else I can help you with? I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, you all right?
No. I turn and look at my dad like, what do I do?
Your dad, he's understanding, but he kind of knows when like the jig is up, so to speak. He says, what? He I was gonna say he gets down on one knee, but he doesn't have to.
Dad, too soon.
So he looks you right in the eyes. And he says, know that you'll be all right. That you are tough, you are smart, you are loved. Okay? I can't be there in person. And as soon as you find out how I can visit, I know you'll tell me and we'll make it happen. Okay?
This
Okay.
isn't fair. This isn't fair. They already took so much away from me, and now they're trying to take you away from me as well. I don't want to go.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll head back home after I see you off, and you'll find me there whenever you need me, okay? You're the one who's going off on a real fantasy adventure. You're the one who's going to have a story to tell. And what I love is when I hear it, it's not you recounting or summarizing books that, admittedly, son, have always been a little complicated for me, but it's your story, and I'm going to hang on to every word.
It's supposed to be our adventure.
I'll tell you what, do like that nice lady said, learn some cool magic, okay? Come back and show it to me, and you take me on an adventure. How's that?
Okay. Will you walk me to the train?
Of course. Of course. Come this far, right? Come this far. So he says, but we probably should do like the man said and get your luggage on board. So why don't we head this way first, all right? Hang on to that ticket.
Yeah, great.
All right. So he takes your hand, and he's holding your luggage in the other one, and he starts to lead you off. So you both carrying the luggage, and your orangutan, who has been right there with you this whole time.
I can't get him to leave me alone, so that works.
All right. So while you handle your luggage, we're gonna come back to you, and in the meantime, check in with our last arrival, who traveled by the most unusual mode of transportation for most wizard kind, private jet.
You know.
All right, Katie. Yeah, you guys, you and your family stayed in that nice hotel across the street. That's the name I still don't remember at the moment. But yo, guys, if you've never seen this hotel, it is something. So you guys took your sweet time coming down the morning, walking across the street, checking out the shops at King's Cross. Um, you followed your possum Diamond all the way in through the abyss, and you have arrived at King's Cross Station.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So,
have.
yeah, and it's just you.
Yeah,
It's just
I
you.
mean, I've done this before. Let's be real.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to many schools. It's not like this is my first rodeo. Sounds like it's got to be my last, though, according to my dad. So whatever.
um, okay, so you've wandered in through the portal. Remember, there was a crowd of people kind of gawking, for lack of a better word, at your possum as you entered. So
They're
they,
just jealous.
yeah. So before them, or before you, I should say, is a big old group of people making lots of noise that I am going to try to mute right now. There we go. And the crowd before you dissolves as they start heading their separate way, revealing to you all the people. And just to once again paint a picture unique for you, all kinds of people with all kinds of stuff going in a few different directions. And oh, the fashion. They're wearing robes, gowns, kimonos, thobs, kanzus, just all sorts of stuff. And all black. Like all the kids are all wearing these different outfits. But there's the only thing they have in common is that most of them are black. And you
Varying shades of black.
well, of course, because there's no true black. You and I know.
Okay.
You and I know enough about fashion to know that. But
Okay.
yeah, so you're seeing all the kids and their very diverse looks.
Yes.
3 trains, all different styles, all under a different number, with 13 being the furthest.
Okay.
And you didn't hear the announcement, and you came in right after that. So you don't know what's going on. People just be bustling around like they do at train stations, moving all sorts of ways. And then off in the distance, you just hear men shouting what sounds like directions and instructions. So how do you make your way downtown?
Does anybody know where I'm supposed to go to Hayvenhearth? Right? That was in my letter. Hayvenhearth, where's the train? I'll just send Diamond off. Diamond will go and chat with the conductor. She'll report back to me.
This is gonna be a roll. What is your actual tactic here?
Wow. It's to send my animal off. I can communicate. That's
Are
one
you
of my
doing that again?
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
What did we
Is
decide?
this not a thing
was?
I can do? I've trained her too well. I'm sorry. Okay. I will be a big girl and I will ask someone who looks like they're important and like with a uniform on and a name tag and ask them where my transportation to this new school is.
Okay.
Right?
I'm gonna call this a brains roll since you listed a couple of identifiers as to like you are searching for something specific.
Okay.
So go ahead and do a brains roll for me. Again, you're just looking for a name tag and a hat. That's a little more challenging than what Garrett's situation was. So I'm gonna say you have to roll. Ooh, you have to roll a 4, which is gonna be tough for you because you're gonna need a lucky break, meaning you got to roll the highest stat of your particular die.
Okay, so Garrett left me with a lot of dice here. Which dice shall I?
You want the triangular one. That this isn't helping me
Well, I
pointing at
don't
it.
have a triangle, Garrett. That's the
You
one
want a
you have
pyramid.
not. Garrett, you have not left me a pyramid of all of the ones.
It did. It's
Okay,
red.
fine.
I'll point it
Here's
out.
what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I got you.
Oh, it's under my laptop. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, I got my little thing. What do I need? I'm rolling it. I need a
Roll
4.
it and then tell me what number is pointed upward.
Yep, I know how how to roll a dice. I just need to find the
I'm
dice.
just making sure. I personally do not
Oh,
like D4s.
that is a 4. Don't look
Really?
at my nail polish. Don't look at my nail polish. That's a 4.
Okay. So you got that lucky break. And
Yeah!
even better, Kids on Brooms uses a mechanic called exploding dice, so that when you roll the top stat of your die, it explodes, and you get to roll it again. So just for
Okay.
fun, do it one more time.
Okay. I got a 2.
Great. So I asked for a 4, and you rolled a 6. Fantastic.
You're welcome.
Yes. Oh, great. First exploding die of the game. Okay. So not only do you find someone with a name tag, you find this person quickly.
Okay.
And you recognize the name on the name tag, like, so you just, it doesn't just say like King's Cross Station employee, like, you've got the name. The name is Ava, and yeah, you see, and you also recognize, because you rolled a 6, that not only is she wearing a name tag and an official uniform, but it's with Streamliner written on it. You don't know what that means yet, but you see it as a streamliner, and so you know that she definitely works for something that sounds like a train.
Okay. Great, Ava. So, Ava, you work for a streamliner. That's the school I'm supposed to go to, right? Like for Hayvenhearth to get there?
Okay, so she said, "You all right, love?
What?
Sorry, you all right?
Oh, man, these thick accents. I'm from California, man.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm all right. So, you're looking for Havenhearth?
Yeah.
That's my train.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Right at the end here, number 13. You're gonna head all the way down to the big shiny silver one, all right?
Okay.
And then if you need to drop off any luggage, which I see that you have plenty, you need to head over to the right-hand side, and they'll help you load it up on the luggage car. And then you will board, find me, and give me your ticket, and I'll let you in over on the right. All right?
Yeah, that was easy. Okay.
All right. See you then. And she continues rushing off.
Oh, that lady does. I'm cool as a cucumber. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I'm heading now towards the silver train.
Yes.
Great.
And as you keep making your way down, you see a gleaming silver train. Like, it's eye-catching.
Oh my gosh, I can see my reflection in it. Oh
You
my
can.
gosh.
It's
My new
definitely
glitter, my roll-on eye glitter. Oh, on point.
As you move further down to like drop off the luggage, yeah, it does flatten out a little bit more. So yeah, that reflection is kind of like really coming into view. But yeah, so you head down, you see the gleam, you see your reflection, everything, and this train is on point too. Let's just be real. Like, the points are sharp. This thing looks nice and new and vintage. Yeah. And you also recognize there's another man wearing a similar uniform, streamliner written on it, same color scheme, shouting at everyone what you've already heard. Luggage on the left, boarding on the right. So you head toward the left, and the line is dissipated a bit. So you just can get right into it and have no problem loading up your stuff with the King's Cross crew. All right.
Great.
Okay, so now let's go back to Zach and check in with he and his folk. All right, so luggage is loaded, and you and your dad are standing right outside the door where Miss Odge is collecting tickets.
Oh, okay.
Breathe, son, breathe. You're gonna be
Sorry.
fine. You're gonna be just
I-
fine.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Oh, yes. It's just very real now. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
All right.
All right.
Well, stay safe.
I love you, Dad.
Um,
And he just grabs his dad and just hugs him.
Great. Your dad was struggling with trying to come up with all of the life advice at once, and a hug suffices far better. So he gives you a real tight squeeze, and after a moment, lets you go, and he's feeling bittersweet. He's, I'm so glad that you'll visit, and
Mhm.
that I'll get to, when I share stories, you'll have a better appreciation, and then I get to hear your stories, and then we get to practice magic together. This is really exciting. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Uh, now that, but I just hate that I have to wait a little longer.
Yeah.
See you when you get back at Christmas holiday.
I'll see you then. Okay.
Um, says
And he's just not letting go. Alex just is not letting go.
and your dad's not really backing off either. He just kind of like standing there and just again like trying to think of something profound, and it's just not coming to him. And he said, and then he goes back to like trying to think of life advice. He's uh remember, there's always a counter spell. There's always a nurse's station. But be safe, and don't fly too high, please. Um, and always have your wand on you. All right?
Remember
Yeah, you'll be fine.
everything you told me.
All right. All right, Alex. Bon voyage, I guess. And he does the nose thing that he did with the
Mhm.
guy at Circuit City.
Oh, yeah. Alex does it back to him because he doesn't fully get it.
Yeah, and then your dad goes, "Sorry, that's not really a thing in the wizarding community. I just thought we'd have a. I'll see you when you get back."
Yeah.
And he takes a step back, and then like does a meager wave to try to be like, "Okay, this is me starting the process of separating."
All right. Uh, Alex does. All right. I kind of want to roll on this. To see if
Okay.
he has the guts to just turn around and go onto the train.
Oh, we're doing a grit roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fun. All right,
Yeah.
please roll away.
Yeah. I just gotta remember what my grit is.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I
it's all good. It's
I've
my D10.
misplaced my cheat sheet for you specifically, so
It's
I
fine.
need
It's
you to
fine. I
remind
have it.
me.
I have it.
Okay.
Um, so that's a 2.
Okay.
What was I shooting for?
Oh right, I forgot to say that.
Fine.
Jeez. Well, I was gonna say something like an 8 because
Yeah.
it. Well, no, that's mean because it's very possible. So a 6, but obviously you didn't hit it.
You
Obviously
didn't
you
hit it
didn't hit it.
regardless.
I'm just now
Uh,
diminishing how badly you fail at this.
got it. No. And Alex runs to his dad. Um,
Oh,
it's just
okay. You guys,
oh,
you guys hug for a little longer, and I'm
uh,
gonna let you do that. Just hug it out while we check back in with Liana and
okay.
her kin. Okay, so pardon me, Anahit and
Yeah.
her kin. Okay, Anahit, you're there with most of your family. Your brother has finally come back. He's dropped off the bags to sit, and he tells you, "Okay, you're good to go. Everything's boarded. They're gonna unload it. I'm not gonna be there." Your brother likes to joke around when he doesn't have to do important things. Um, and uh, and so then he kind of says, "So, yeah, I guess we're saying goodbye now."
Yeah. I I think I'm ready. Um, wait, are we at the right track?
Yeah,
What track is
you guys are you're standing like more or less like at the corner between the pathway that you can start boarding and the luggage car.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of just noticing what the train looks like because I was so lost in my head before and like feeling nervous and just being like overwhelmed. So I'm like looking at the train and being like, oh my gosh, this train is amazing.
um your dad, the writer, is like, yeah, this is very sci-fi.
Yeah, or like it's almost like Art Deco-ish, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, I definitely see that. It's kind of got this like I was thinking 50s, but it reminds me of the old movies, like the old special effects movies of like the late 40s and stuff. I don't know. And your dad's like getting caught up in the details again. Um, and your sister goes, "Oh yeah, well the ticket kind of looks pretty deco." Your sister's been holding on to the letter, and she's the one who found the ticket coming out of the back that you didn't even realize you had. Um,
Oh, yeah. Wait, can I see that, sis?
she Rose hands it over to you, and you get to see it for the first time now. It's shiny. It's paler than the rest of the parchment, and it's not as textured like the parchment is. It's smoother, and you're on the money that it looks very Art Deco with its geometric shapes and lines and like kind of rays of light being represented, so to speak. And in uh, a nice vintage looking, very sharp font, it says Steamliner for Havenhearth, admit one, familiars welcome. 10 hours, like in tiny little font at the bottom.
Wait, I'm like looking at the 10 hours. Wait, 10 hours. Where exactly is this school?
um, I can't remember if you and your family were discussing where the school might be, but yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh, wait, and you're not going to tell me, are you?
No.
No, you're not. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But yeah, I'm looking at the ticket and the train, and I'm like, well, this certainly seems like a way cooler school than I've ever been to. So that's a plus, at least.
Your sister is thinking the same thing, but she's not going to say it out loud. So when you say that, she just kind of has like this, mm-hmm, yeah, like yeah, it is, kind of thing. Far more muted than mine. She's, you know, she's not bitter, but yeah. So, um, your mom is just kind of like this school is something. It's certainly something special. I think I hope you like it.
Yeah, me too. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. But I've never been to a visiting school, so it'll at least be an adventure and yeah, someplace where I can really explore my herbology, hopefully. Right, Mom?
Mhm. And your mother says, absolutely. I I fell in love with potions at school. School helped me to become a potions master. I'm sure the same is going to happen for you. Um, yeah, you're going to go far. I think this is going to be a real good fit for you. And your dad says, and yeah, and lots of adventure too, I imagine.
Yeah.
So your dad kind of just does this like this, and the whole family, you've all done this, and it's always weird because you all try to hug each other at the same time, and it's this ring huddle thing. Uh, you can roll a grit roll to see how comfortable you are with this if you want, or
Yeah.
or I'll just
Yeah,
let you tell me.
yeah. I'm like looking around like, oh God, are they gonna all hug me at once? Oh God.
Yeah. And it's not that they're all trying to do that, but your mom, like when the circle starts to loosen, your mom kind of like whooshes in and gives you a proper hug, and then your dad joins in, and your brother bumps on, and your sister's like, sure, like with one arm because she knows you hate it, but and she thinks it's kind of dumb too, but she's doing it. So yeah, they all do it. They all crush in on you and give you a big hug. Finally, let go. For everyone feels like an eternity. And your mom is like tears of joy kind of thing. She's okay, go get on the train. Go get on the train, okay? What do you do?
Oh, that hug was really intense. I think my arms are gonna be sore for the entire 10-hour train ride. Thanks, guys.
You know what? Do it for me anyway. Roll a grit roll. I want to see how bad it was.
Okay.
We're just gonna roll on a scale from 1 to 10. So for you, oh, I actually forget what your grit is.
It's a D8.
D8. Thank you.
I'm rolling. Uh,
So I know it hurts you a
That
little bit.
it's a 5.
So 5. Okay. Yeah, you're sore. You're like got that like okay, catch my breath.
Yeah.
And you've just got that feeling that like okay, they're all still hugging me. Like you just trying to shake it off kind of thing. But so like you're ready to go, but you're not limping over or anything.
Yeah. I'm kind of letting them just hug me, even though on the outside I look like I'm hating it. I'm actually kind of glad for the attention.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I do really love them and care about them. So I'm like, okay, I guess I should go now. Um, yeah, I'll be okay, right? I'll be fine. It's an adventure, right? That's what you guys said. Okay, I think I'm ready. Going towards the train.
Go. Okay. Okay. Great. We're gonna stop there for you, right before you board, and check back in with Garrett.
Hi.
Okay, so Garrett,
Yes.
you and your father and your ape have all loaded up the
Orangutan.
luggage. Um, the the they ask whether or not the ape is going on the train with you or if it's riding in the luggage car.
I think if you put him in the luggage car, he would find a way. If you can tell me how to keep him in there, then put him in there. Is he gonna have food? You know what? It doesn't matter. He's a magical ape. Just put him in there.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I shouldn't have made the train trip 10 hours. I didn't think about that. Oh, that's cruel for all the pets. Um,
It's
okay,
magical. I imagine they have, you know,
they got to
food,
figure it
and
out.
they probably get their own trolley service and everything. Fine.
This isn't the
If
first time.
he's gonna be comfortable, then I guess can't let my
Um,
parents go. And now you take, yeah, put my orangutan wherever you want. I guess.
you want to? Okay, all right. So the orangutan is getting in the luggage car.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, before.
Also, it's really awkward now for him because he had his mom and his dad both carry his books in their suitcases along with their stuff because he thought they were going to in with him to the school. So now they have taken their stuff and consolidated it into one bag, and now he's just got a giant bag of books and his duffel bag that he has slung over his shoulders in his backpack.
Right, I had forgotten. Yep. Okay, great.
The suitcase
I'm,
that they consolidated, they were both. It's like a pink beige suitcase.
well,
It's
are
like
you?
a
What of your luggage? Okay, we figure out what we're doing with your orangutan. What of the luggage are you taking onto the train?
a backpack. You know, my green Jansport. It's got my 2 books I'm reading currently. And it's got the little like homebrew Dungeons and Dragons campaign I was working on for my friends back home.
Okay.
Notes.
So your books in your backpack. Great. Okay. So the ape is with everything else. You and your dad are walking back on down to the aisle, and yeah. So it's all right. Train was happening. I don't think we can put this off any. I know that was pitiful. My
Yeah, I
chatter
think the
is
train
much
is
better than the
dying.
train. Your dad says, "All right, I don't think we can afford to put this off any longer. Son, you're gonna be all right. Okay?
I give him a big hug and I say, you'll be there soon, right?"
As soon as I can."
I try to study his face as he says that to me to see like if he means it or if he's like if he's being truthful. Like I'm trying to do an insight check on kids with brooms.
I don't really think they do that.
Okay, how about this? I'm trying to use my brains to see and like compute if
No,
this
I
is
think this is
actually
more an
possible or
intuitive
not.
thing. So I'm gonna
Oh,
say this is kind of like a reverse charm. So I'm gonna have you roll your charm die, which is better for you. No, it's not. Sorry. You do got that +1 though.
it's not terrible. I mean, I get a +1, so there's that.
Yep.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry. Well, no,
Oh no,
no,
it's not a critical
It's not
fail.
critical.
Oh,
Um, so what you're telling me is despite whatever number I was going to give you is like because it's an easy one. Like you believe your dad. It should have been like a 2 or a 3. I just
it's
don't ever
more
say you
of
have to
a.
roll 1.
Sorry, I'm explaining myself. It's more of a. I'm trying to figure out in my head logically if that's something that would happen. I'm thinking about things like school semesters and weeks and like how is he going to get to see me? Like how would he get there? I'm thinking. I'm
Well, fine.
compiling
Okay. I
all of
thought you were
that
trying to do
stuff.
insight check on your dad. If it's fine, if it's that, do a brains roll. I'll let you redo this one roll. Um,
Oh no,
and
keep it as
you
this
have
reverse
to.
charm. I love it
But
because it is. I
for
mean,
you to
on the
assess this though is really hard.
yeah.
You're gonna have to roll. You're gonna have to roll 12. You have to have a lucky break to like guess exactly when the semester is gonna end.
Yeah, I think that. Okay, how about this?
So
I will augment.
I'll give you the chance. You obviously can
All
do
right,
it with your
all
rolls,
right,
but it's gonna be a tough one.
all right. Here we go. I'll roll it. Here we go, brains. Oh boy, that's a 7.
Okay. So you don't figure it out. You kind of go like, I mean, because there's holidays and you blurt out that there's holidays and long weekends and stuff and your dad says, right, but I don't think they'd be shipping you off with all this every weekend. Or
I think that's where the 1 comes in of the reverse charm is where I'm like, uh, yeah, and it all kind of hits. I mean, I think it's like this. This was his last. This was my last like maybe, and now that's very much out of the question. So I'm like, okay, okay, it's an adventure. You said it was an adventure. And I'm gonna try and just get on the and I just turn around and I give him and my mother a big hug and I say love you and don't worry about me because I see how much it hurts him with my 1. So I see how much he's like very upset. So I get on the. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be great, and you guys, I'll see you soon, right? Just write me letters about the town and then make sure everybody's doing okay. I want to hear everything and send me. Can you send me newspaper clippings about what's going on in my school?
I will if you will.
Yeah, sure. I guess. I don't know. I send mail. I've never seen a post person.
Well, I'll
I'll
tell you
figure
what.
it out.
I'll send the first letter and we'll go from there. You just
Yeah,
do
just keep sending them, please.
you have your letter ready and you send it right back, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And then I turn around and I get on the train.
Okay. Okay. So you take your ticket and you head toward where one of the train cars where they're taking the tickets. All right. Boom. So now we're gonna come to Katie, who you haven't boarded the train yet, but you have started making your way down there, right? Already?
Yes, I have not officially boarded it, but I'm like right there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're the first one on the train.
Sounds right.
'Cause you didn't have to fight your family off, and all their affection. So
Right.
you pop on that train. You hand your ticket over to Miss Odge, who looks similar, very similar to Ava, who you spoke with earlier, wearing a matching outfit. She says, you know, welcome aboard, and uh, you're in. You are in a, you know, it's not as bright, shiny, and new on the inside. It's still nice. The atmosphere is much cooler, and the upholstery is it it's vintage in a way that's less beautiful. It looks a
Mm.
little dated.
Okay,
But what's
little like
nice,
gaudy,
huh?
like a little gaudy.
A tad, and it's just colors that like really aren't a thing anymore. Um,
Okay,
you know, like it's there's like I'm picturing mauve cushions for some reason, stuff like that.
gotcha.
That
Hmm.
like I'm sure in a 1950s home that these faded yet bright colors were very popular. But you're like, this really isn't with the look anymore. Um,
Mm.
but what's nice about it, because it is vintage, is it's plush and spacious. There's I don't want to say plenty of seats, but there's plenty of room for the seats. Um, there's a few cars in this first car that are just like uh, your typical arrangement of seats, and then you get one where the seats are facing backwards. There's a table, and then there's more seats, and so like there's like a loungy kind of spot. Seats. Um, and then a spot where you can like drop off more luggage if you've got too many carry-ons. You can just like leave. There's a shelf here you can leave on, um, and that's on both sides with this aisle down the way. But then if you continue and you're seeing that it's possible because kids are in front of you, um, there's more train to see.
Wait, they're in front of me. I thought Oh, am I just the first one on of
You're
all
the
of
first one
us?
of our party.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
You're the
That's
first
fair.
one.
Okay,
Because you
okay,
also were the last one of the party to arrive at the station, but you just caught up.
yeah.
You didn't take your sweet time.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, people. There's so many kids. People have gotten there prior, so. But
Okay,
there's room. There's plenty of room. There's
great.
not a lot of kids. It's not packed, but you see that there is more train ahead of you, and that there's a couple kids down that way. Um, So you are welcome to pick whatever side seat you like, or see what else is there further down.
Okay. Well, easy enough. If I have to pick a seat, well, I don't have to pick a seat with somebody who's already in this seat, right? I mean, like I can spread out with my stuff, obviously. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So, I'm gonna have like a nice big like bench seat because obviously I still have Diamond with me. Diamond's not being checked. Like she's with me. Like she's basically a part of me. So I put her little bedazzled bag down on this nice big bench. I spread myself out, get myself comfortable, kick my legs up. Let's
Okay,
do this.
cool. Um, I want you to do a brains roll for me.
Great. Um,
Oh, yeah,
which
yeah.
dice do I use? Am I still using the
That's
pyramid?
the pyramid one again.
Okay, great.
Um, I just want to see if you're lucky. So basically, I'm going on a scale of 1 to 4 here. This is not how the game works. This is the way I like to do things.
Okay.
I just want to see what you roll, and then I will tell you. For anyone shaking their head at me, Garrett, I'm trying to do my version of a perception roll
Okay. So
because it's not in the system.
so I'm not aiming for anything. You just will tell me what yay or nay after you
Yeah,
hear my number.
we're gonna treat this like a perception roll because this game does not use perception rolls. I just want to see how successful you are with your braining.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2. A 2.
Okay, you,
My brain is a 4.
yeah. you're sitting down, you're getting yourself adjusted, and you barely hear, as kids are passing by you, saying, "Oh, I hope the good one's still available." And
Wow.
yeah.
What, the good window? The good view?
So you see, and they continue outside of the car you're in, further down the train.
Okay, well, then I guess I'm gonna pick up Diamond and we're gonna go for an adventure, because now I want to go see what the best is, obviously. Like, if this is gonna be like my final, like, hoo-ha, doing this for my papa, like, let's go do this.
Okay.
So I pick up Diamond and we follow those kids.
Okay.
Is
So
that how this is done?
I'm gonna pause here and jump to Anahit. We're gonna start jumping back and forth a lot now. Sorry, Justin.
Do you want us to be muted?
No.
Okay.
Okay, because Anahit is now boarding the train. You've handed over your ticket to the ticket taker, and before you see a somewhat open spaced room with lots of seats. Not really, or many are taken, like one or two, I guess. One is taken by this one girl who's got, like, she is bright and shiny and colorful, and has a possum in a bag. Sorry, I shouldn't cast judgment. And further down the way, you see past the hallway a bend in, like, between, the one, this car ends, the next one begins. There's a bend, and you can't see what's past that.
Yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I'm kind of just taking it all in, looking around, trying to figure out where I want to sit. I pass the colorful girl with the possum, and I do just kind of give her a look like, okay. And then I just keep going into the next car.
Great. All right. So then we're gonna jump over to Garrett. Garrett, you're
Oh.
boarding the train now.
Uh-huh.
By yourself.
Yeah, so I am looking, my hands are shaking and I'm trying to look at the ticket to just get more information because when I'm nervous, I read. One of my big fears, because we're supposed to write down fears, one of my fears is being alone, which is very much where I'm at right now. So I am trying to calm myself down by kind of reading the ticket and looking around the train car, trying to figure out where I should sit.
Well, you
Oh.
have your ticket in your hand, you said. So that means you're
Uh-huh.
outside of the train car. So I'm gonna have you do what that awesome move that Zach did and roll grit.
Oh,
I want to
wonderful.
see, and
When I'm rolling again my situation that I'm facing and one of my biggest fears, what do I do again? I forgot also. I think I get a minus.
yeah, I think you just have, like, no one can help you. I know that with adversity tokens. I don't believe you can spend adversity tokens. Um, and I just can't remember if there's anything else about that.
I feel like I'm pretty positive I get a penalty. I need to
Yeah,
pull
I
up
think you
the
do get a -1.
email that you sent us with all of the rules. Let's all go to the lobby. No. You sent us so many wonderful emails.
Yeah, there's a lot to creating a character.
Oh, I can just Google this, I bet you. Let's see. Kids on brooms. Fear rolls. Let's see. Come on, Google.
Oh goodness.
Oh my God.
Fine. I'll consult my stuff too.
It says, oh, this is great. They named a character Jimin in this thing that I'm reading. That's just a
When
hilarious name.
you are making a skill check in the presence of one of your fears, you must take the skill as a snap decision. So you can't take half of your die roll,
Oh, I see. Copy that.
which is something we haven't really been doing to begin with, if I'm being honest.
Got it.
You cannot spend adversity tokens, like I said, and to aid your friends. If you can't spend tokens on yourself or to aid friends. No, you can spend it on
Got it.
yourself. And then I will apply a penalty based on the severity of the fear, and that's why you and I couldn't remember what it was, because it's scalable.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
gonna say that you're alone, but it's not like there's not a helpful official person there and kids around. Like you're not alone.
I'm not in a dark wood. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you. I get you.
So let's just go ahead and call this a -1. So yeah, you can spend your adversity tokens. I was mistaken on that. You can spend them on yourself. Not
I
if you
can't
have any.
help. Others can't help me. No one
But
can help you face your fears but yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to give me a number I'm shooting for?
Oh, and this is very doable for you. So let's say 6.
I love that you said it's very doable for me, and that is, I have to roll perfect on my d6.
Oh,
Okay,
my
here we
bad.
go. Well, I got a 2 minus 1, which is a 1, a very doable 1. I failed.
Completely. Okay. All right. Well, my bad.
No, it's fine. I'm glad I failed. Do I get a jelly bean now?
I know,
No,
I
when you
want a
spend an adversity token. So you've earned one. You
Yes.
now can use one of your jelly bean adversity token trackers. Set it to the
So,
side so you can use it later.
do you want to explain this to them real quick since we're here?
Yeah, so every time that we fail with a roll, you earn an adversity token because you will learn from your mistakes. So we've opted to use jelly beans and candy as a means of keeping track of our tokens. And then
Not
we know
just
they're
any jelly
spent
beans.
when we eat them. Oh
You
yeah, that's right.
instructed us.
You opted for the Bean Boozled.
You instructed us to go get Bean Boozled. So I scoured the Walgreens for Bean Boozled, and all they had was this Bean Boozled fiery concoction thing that's got 5 hidden types of spicy jelly bean flavor. Which, by the way, spicy jelly beans are a thing, and it's horrendous. So I got one of those, and I got some regular jelly beans, and I mixed it together in this very zen container. So now when I pull adversity tokens, like I just did, I pull it out of the mystery container of either sweet or terribly, terribly spicy, terrible jelly beans. So we'll see what I got
Yeah.
eventually.
I just wanted there to be some potential risk, so you guys aren't just throwing around adversity tokens all willy-nilly.
There's risk. Thanks. Thanks.
Okay. So you don't get on the train, you take a moment off to the side. So you're gonna go to the back of the line now. All right. So that leaves Zach, who was taking a moment as well.
The other person that failed at trying to do the exact same
That's
thing.
right.
Yes.
So JJ. Sorry, not JJ. JJ's taking a step to the side. Alex. How's Alex doing? Is he ready to board?
I mean, he's been with his dad for a while. I think he's getting there. Yeah.
For the sake of everyone's time,
Yeah, of
I'm
course,
not going to
yes,
make you roll grid roll again. I'm just going to
No.
say you boarded the train.
That's
I'm only
fine.
going to make you guys fail once at stepping onto a stationary object. So you now board the train. You off in the distance of the train of this plush room, you see a girl in black head around the corner onto the next car. You see a much more colorful, brighter girl with a possum start to get up from her seat and follow her. And then there's you.
He very cautiously walks around, because spoiler, Alex also has a fear of being alone. Um, and so he kind of just tries to. I think he's just going to go to where the crowds are, actually, since he sees people walking that direction. So he does that and just kind of follows down that pathway to see what's up over there.
Okay. Jumping back to no, I want to make Garrett wait. Jumping back to Anhi, you are now leading this group. You don't realize it, but you come around the bend. You see that this thing you're passing is like a food station, and then past it, you are now on the left-hand side of the car. And as you're walking down, you see rooms, like private rooms for everybody, that's fit like for 4 or 6 people, and there's kids in them, and so you can have like a private room if you can find one that's empty.
Oh, this will be fun. Yeah. Can I just like roll like to figure out which one to like look in, or do I need to like keep looking and looking and looking and then
Well, let me ask you this: what is your approach? All right,
I want to get
you're,
as far away from people as possible.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a simple matter of you recognizing that there are human beings here.
Wait,
Um,
there's like a window in each room, so I can
yes,
like
yes.
see.
Sorry,
Okay, see them. Yeah.
yes. There are windows in each room, and you can peer in, and you can see that people are getting some and stuff. And like, obviously, the first ones are going to be taken. It's just like when you board a plane, like everyone has to sit down right away. So you basically start making your way into the next car, and I, yeah, let's say that there's 3 cars worth of this. You're on the last one, and you do manage to find uh, an available empty room, like right before the toiletries
Great.
or the
You can
water closet or whatever it's called, which is huge. So that takes up like a good third of the car. So you're like kind of in the middle of the car, and you see that that's the last available room. So you pop in
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Great. Now let's jump down to Garrett. Or, yeah. So you took a moment, took a deep breath.
Freaked out a little bit. That's fine.
Miss Odge asks, you all right?
Yes. I just don't know where to sit.
All right, give me a ticket,
I give her my ticket.
and you can sit anywhere up front. Though most kids like to head toward the back. There's rooms for everyone. You can put your things above you there. Sit back, enjoy the view. There's nice big windows, and the snack cart will be coming down along the way. We'll send a trolley with all sorts of treats on it for you.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you. I just kind of follow the kids. I hate I'm like stuck alone in this very velour, which again is super Blaine the Train from the Dark Tower series. This like very opulent but like kind of outdated interior, so it's not helping me not freak out about this train. So I head around the corner to try and like follow the kids, and like it's okay, it'll be fine. Looking for windows to look out. I mean, who doesn't like to read by windows, right?
Yeah, so every one of that first room, they have windows. They're it's a nice big window, but it's got all these seats in the way of them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you sit at the first one, like you only have a piece of a window, and then you sit the next one, you got a seat in front of
Yeah,
you. And
yeah.
the reflection is not the best because it's
It's
reflecting.
also there's no one in here with me, and I don't want to sit in this room by myself for my first ever trip on a magical train to a place I've never been. That my parents don't know where I'm at. You know.
No,
So I follow the children.
great. All right, so leading that group of children, more or less, is Miss Paris Colourpop. So Katie,
Yes. And I see Anna go into the room, and she got the room right by the bathroom, which is obviously where I would want to sit when I need to like adjust my hair and my makeup. And Anna has fantastic skincare. So obviously that's who I'm gonna follow. I don't want to be with a bunch of like dweebs. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like start your pack strong. So you said we can have like 4 or 5 people in these rooms. That's where I'm going.
who's ready for our first character interaction?
Uh,
You open the door, and in the corner is that girl you saw with the long black robes, who you think is the who passed you when you got the word that there's a good one left.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, she is, you know what? I'm not saying we need to like run down our character sheets, but Liana, do you want to describe your character, or do you want me to do it?
I'll describe her, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, so Anahi is very tall and thin and has purple hair, kind of in like a bob. She's kind of like gothy, goth punky. Yeah, and she's 14-ish. So yeah,
It looks like Shirley Manson from Garbage.
that's a good representation, definitely. She's kind of pale too. She's pale.
Oh, see, that I wasn't actually thinking about. I was gonna say I was
Yeah,
wrong on that. But cool.
she's paler than she should be.
Oh, that girl uses a lot of SPF. That is good for your skin.
All right, so Paris,
Yes.
you see this girl in the corner. Anahi, you see Paris, do you want to describe yourself or you want me to do it?
I mean, yeah, Paris, she's a gal from Cali who, I may be 17. Some may think this is a more recent reference that, maybe kids in 1998 wouldn't get, but think of yourself kind of as like Joe from Stranger Things. He's like the older guy hanging out with like the younger kids. You're kind of like, why? But it kind of works. That's kind of why I feel like my dynamic could be within this group. But yeah, this is apparently my last chance until I fill out of all things wizard and magical. So yeah, I told my dad I'd do this, and yeah, I love everything: makeup, glitter, glam, all the 1998 trends. Those thin eyebrows and the pops colors. And I have a possum named Diamond who hangs out in my bedazzled bag because glitterators and bedazzlers are all the rage. Spice Girls are also a big inspiration for me.
So, Anahi, you're sitting there. This girl comes in with colorful hair and a little bit of
Oh yeah.
glitter and a really nice outfit. And are you wearing some of the robes you got? Like one of the robes that you bought, or is this a different outfit?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely say I'm wearing one of the robes for sure.
Yeah. So she's wearing like I mean, they're student robes, but they're like designer student robes from a nicer store that you would find in like Beverly Hills. And she comes in and then just introduces everything about her and her possum and all that information, just dumps that right on you. And this is where I'm gonna have a cup of tea and just let you gals chat.
Hey,
Hi.
so you obviously picked the right cabin. I mean, it's like right next to the washroom and whatnot. So it's like it's cool. Like we girls like do our thing and hang out. Like your skin, your complexion. I don't know what you use. I don't know like how it's so light. Like in California, freckles, girl, all day long.
Yeah, I don't really get out very much.
Okay, okay. Well, hey, you know what? That's okay. We're apparently all going on this crazy adventure to whatever school our parents are all sending us to. It's kind of weird that like we don't know a lot about it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have like more info about it, do you?
Not really, only what was in our letter. But I was like hoping to have this compartment to myself. I was just trying to like read my book, you know?
Suddenly, you hear a very excited child coming down the hallway, moving fairly fast. And in case you guys are unclear about this, that's you, Alex. All
I
of
hop
the
into the
carts, as you've gone down, have more or less been full. Kids are hustling and bustling, and there's a lot going on. You don't really know where to go, but there's so much more train in front of you to see.
oh, um, hello. Hi, sorry. Is there room in here? All the other ones seem to be full.
I think there's room in the next one, and the kid you're talking to points you to the last car available, and she goes right before the bathrooms.
Oh, thank you. Um, and I open the door to, I assume, the compartment with
Oh, the
the
door's still open.
Oh, great. Then I just drop in. Hello. Is there room for one more?
Uh, I guess there is now.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Hello. Um, so you're all must be upperclassmen. What's it like at the school?
Well, yeah,
Wouldn't
kid,
know.
we're all going there. Like, just because
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like older, like I haven't been to this school.
Oh,
Me neither.
oh.
Hey, have you ever thought about like putting highlights in your hair? You know, like maybe like some frosted tips.
Uh, no. Oh, but I could try it. I just got this, and he pulls out his wand. And to describe him, he is this short little like 10-year-old with just a mop of curly hair on top of his head.
Yeah.
Kind of like me. And he's a little portly, but he's a little kid. And he's like, actually, I have been trying to do magic. Uh, and I could try. I've changed the color of my belt, and I still have my belt that I was changing colors with the other day.
Huh.
And I said, and I think I could probably, if I tried really hard, what color would be good for a popular kid at school?
That was so many uhs.
Yeah. Do
Sorry.
I look popular to you? I mean, she probably would know, but
You look really cool. You've got purple hair.
well, thank you.
Okay, I'd say with your complexion, your skin
Uh-huh.
tone,
hmm
you got the curls. Let's go with a ramen yellow after my favorite pop artist, Justin Timberlake, because we all know how beautiful and luscious his ramen hair is, of the band known as NSYNC,
Yeah,
because that is in. The girls will love you. If you are worried about it, I got you.
I
Or I
didn't know
guess you
they.
got yourself, but you got my opinion. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know they were popular with wizards too. That's so cool. And he takes his wand and he taps it on his hairs and tries to see if he can change some color.
First magic roll of the game. All right. So this is how this is going to work. Zach, you are going to make, because you're trying to impress the pretty girls, you're going to make a charm roll, which
Okay.
works for you, I think.
Yeah, that's one of
And
my.
be sure to then roll your d4 as a magic aid. You get to roll the magic die when you're casting a spell. And because
Okay.
you're using your wand, you also get your bonus
Mhm.
um,
Which
when
is-
you're right. Yeah, you get a bonus with
Yes,
your for charm with your wand, correct?
yes, I should have a bonus for just being a kid, and then I get
Yes.
another bonus for my wand, which is the charm bonus. Yeah.
Yes. So you've got a lot in your favor as far as like being able to have the magical ability to pull off a charming spell such as this.
Mhm.
But you are trying to get a specific shade of color, which we've had some issue with before, on
Mhm.
the tips of your hair to resemble a guy who you may or may not be familiar with.
Other kids at school were fans. He knows. Um,
Okay. And
yeah.
you know what ramen looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, then fine.
It's
I'm going to
steamy
say
and
that
hot.
you need to roll a 12.
Perfect. Easy.
Oh boy.
That'd be pretty impressive, in my opinion.
So I got a 7 plus 2. That's a 9. And the D4, is that added to it? Oh, great. That's
So
another
you get to
1.
roll another one. So 10.
That's a 10.
Not bad.
Close. It's close.
You pull off the ramen yellow Timberlake look. Technically, I'm not saying you pull it off, but your hair turns ramen yellow through and through. Not highlights, not tips. It's just now you have yellow curls, and they've gotten a
All
little
right.
tighter than your normal curls.
How do I look?
Wow. Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
Coming into this awkward silence is a very tall young man. He's got a boyish face. He just happens to have a pretty big stature. He comes around the bend. He's got horn rimmed glasses on. And Garrett, you want to finish describing yourself? I just wanted to prove that I know what your characters look like, guys. Sorry.
I'm so proud of you. Look at
Thank
all
you.
your notes. I'm wearing, black robes with a little bit of like a kind of a purple inlay, and as I turn the corner, I just see this like smoking ramen yellow hair, and I go, "Oh, uh, are we supposed to do magic on the train?" Sorry. Hi, I'm JJ.
Are you one of the teachers?
What? No.
Oh,
I'm
He's like
I'm
10. Have you
oh,
been to school before?
not this one.
well, no one's been to this one. Wait, have you all been to this one?
No.
Okay. Well, I was reading. Can I sit here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just sit. I was reading. It says that this trip's going to be 10 hours long. That doesn't make any sense.
I know, right? Where the heck is this school anyway? Why is it
Well,
such a
yeah.
mystery?
Also, I magicked here on a bus from Ohio in an instant, and that's way more than 10 hours. And I just like showed up, and now I'm on this weird train. Hi, I'm sorry, I'm J, and I'm just kind of taking in everybody, and I'm like, whoa. Hi, I'm JJ. I'm from Ohio. Nice to meet you, everybody. Um,
Hi, I'm Anahit.
Where's Ohio?
it's like the middle of the United States.
Uh, I
Ish.
mean, I'm from like the West Coast. Nobody else from the West Coast knows where the geography is. Like I've heard that from some people I know from San Diego. Like they think California
Wow.
is the only state.
I mean, I'm
Man,
from Seattle, and I know where Ohio is.
I know where Seattle is. That's like on our coast-ish.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
all American wizards. That's amazing.
what's your
Where are
name?
you?
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Alex. I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
Wow, that's cool.
We're neighbors, and now we're all sitting together going to wizarding school. It's a new school. No one told me that. Makes sense. My dad went to an old wizard school, but I heard that one like sank into the sea because the person that built it put it on like faulty foundations.
What? Where
I
did
don't
you
know.
read this?
Is my dad told me about it. It might not be true.
That's crazy. Why would they do that?
Mm.
Also, are you? I'm so I was supposed to be going to my own high school and I got like pulled out and away. Were you guys all non-magical people before this too, or is that just me?
Kind of
Magic.
complicated.
Ooh, spill the beans, girl.
I don't know. I mean, I've only gone to non-magical schools, but
Me too.
really know how magical I was till I got the letter. Yeah.
Oh,
Have you always been magical? What was your name again?
Me?
Sorry, eye contact doesn't work super duper well, does it? What
are
was
you
your?
talking about Anna?
No, she just explained her story, and I got her name. What's your name? Is that a possum?
You're talking about Diamond.
Okay. What's
Oh,
your
Alex
name?
runs over and tries to like pick up Diamond and like look at him.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait. Who tried to pick up Diamond?
Uh, sorry, me. Hi.
Yeah. We
Is
don't do
he
that here in
magic?
Canada.
N-
Don't touch him.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I've never met a magical creature like this one.
I don't think you should call people the places they're from. That's not a name. What's your name?
Yeah, Ramen Noodlehead. What's your name?
Me?
No, I know his name. He introduced
I'm
himself
Alex.
as
You
Alex.
haven't said your name yet.
Whoa. I'm sorry. It's Paris Color Pop.
Is that your
No,
real name?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Wow.
Or is it?
You must be from California.
Thank you.
That's so cool. Wow. Man, this is not at all what I expected. I can't wait to get back home.
It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna
You
learn how to
hear
do
a
magic.
little bit of a knock on the door, and then it slides open. Because you guys have the last car in the train, that's where the trolley treat car snack cart starts. So in pops the head of Ava. And
Just the
she's
head?
sitting from the snack cart. Got a
What?
long trip, and I've got plenty of snacks. We got goobers, whoppers, whatchamacallit, Zagnut, Bannerama, Jelly Bellies, Squirrel Zippers,
Do you have any Butterfingers?
Butterfinger. I've got Lion Bars or Yorkies.
Oh man.
You have chocolate frogs.
We have a Yorkie back home.
Oh, you like those chocolate frogs?
Oh no,
Oh,
like a
he
little
makes those.
dog.
It doesn't have
Hmm?
to be a frog. I mean, the chocolate animals, like, you know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have them.
Like,
Do I get
really?
What?
Link the cat? Do I get them?
Meow.
Yes.
All right, this is gonna bother me. This is gonna drive me nuts, guys.
Are you just sitting on the ground?
Yeah.
The illusion is broken. I thought you were sitting at a tall table.
No, he's much taller than a table.
I am sitting in front of the fireplace. Okay. Yeah, sorry. This is just gonna bother me because yeah, Fortnum and Mason. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Fortnum and Mason. Sweetie, love, that's a bit posh. That's for the royal family and such. Well, I mean, I suppose anyone can get them, but I mean, we just don't have them here.
Do you have any chocolate? That's all I really care about.
Oh, chocolate, yeah, of course. Like I said, we got Lion Bars, we got Yorkie Bars, and you girls feel free to have the Yorkies. Goobers, Whoppers, Zagnut. I've also got some Bananaco and some Trululu if you like white chocolate.
The
Anything that's
darkest
got-
chocolate possible.
Oh, you just want straight dark chocolate.
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah, we got that. And so she offers it to you and says, yeah, no, it's a long plane. I'm not gonna make anyone pay for anything. It's a long plane, sorry. Yeah, it's not gonna send it to you.
Yes, it's
everybody gets
included.
one.
Heck yeah.
Yes, one of those dark chocolates, please.
Right, so she gives you a Wonka bar. There, he's a wizard.
Sure. I'm looking for anything
Yeah.
peanut butter
He's
chocolate related.
he's a wizard.
Okay,
Chat.
I agree.
Chat. Willy
Wow.
Wonka, wizard
Wow.
or no?
You are derailing this. I said yes.
Okay.
I'm looking for peanut butter and chocolate.
Lion Bar is probably your best bet. Honestly, we Yanks, we don't have a whole lot of peanut butter here in the British Isles. I do get some stuff around the world, but no peanut butter. We try to keep
Okay,
a little
great.
for everyone, but no peanut butter,
You
love.
do
Sorry.
like hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate. Oh, we'll be coming by with drinks later. We can give you that.
Okay, I'll just take that's fine. I kind of go sit over in the corner and pull out my Forgotten Realms book and just start reading.
Oh my god.
Since she doesn't
He's
have
gonna
what
bring
the-
you the hot chocolate.
Whatever, bro. Listen, I had one request and they don't have peanut butter.
She says, all right, the rest of you, whole flakes, pineapple lumps, salsa getty,
Macintoshes?
minky binky, Turkish delight. Was that?
Macintoshes?
Macintoshes.
Yeah.
Like an
toffee
apple?
Candy? No, never mind.
Is anybody else picking up here that all these people on this train seem to have a British accent? Are we going to the UK?
You're
You
in
know
the
we're
UK,
at
love. King's
King's
Cross
Cross
Station, we just
Station,
left.
right?
Did I
Am
not?
I
Well,
right?
no, I know, but where we're like headed. I was never told specifically where we're going. Okay, California's kind of a big deal, so like it's hard for me to like picture other.
I
big
look up
places.
from my book and like watch this lady answer because I too want to know where we're going, and I also think California is kind of a big deal.
She says, we're heading to the school. Honestly, I don't know where it is because as soon as we pass through the Gump, I'm all blustered and bedazzled. So, befuddled and bedazzled. Honestly, those Gumps.
The
They just
Gump?
do it to you. Yeah,
What's a Gump?
it's Gump. You go through the Gump, and then you come out the Gump.
Okay, you can't just use the word twice and have me understand what it means.
Like a pole, like a hole, like a bridge.
Hole, a bridge, a bridge,
Yeah.
like a portal.
Yeah, a
Hold
pole.
on, I pull out my wizard fantasy book that I bought, and I start.
She goes
searching.
over to. She looks back at Alex and says, young prince, you need anything?
Score bar?
What did you ask for?
Score.
A
Okay.
score bar.
Yeah.
SKOR.
What's
What
a
is on
score
this
bar?
trolley cart? There's nothing on this trolley cart.
What are you talking about? I've got Turkish pepper, Trululu, Minky Binky, Banico, pineapple
This
lumps.
is like
Listen, lady,
is
he
like
wants
whatchamacallit.
toffee. He wants toffee, lady. Toffee and chocolate. Do you have something with toffee and chocolate? I think that's what this Alex kid wants. That's your name, Alex.
Yeah, you remembered.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
she hands you a non-such bar.
dear
Oh.
God. This is like Kroger's
Thank you.
bought a trolley cart and just put off-brand chocolate on it.
Thank you.
Do you say
How
that out
much?
loud?
I do say, sure. That's canonical.
She says, look, you Americans, when it comes to the fruity stuff, yeah, you got us beat. But when it comes to real chocolate, you got to do better than the Brits, all right? Off-brand, yeah. Anything else before I head down? I got lots of cars to see.
Sorry,
All
I'll
right,
take
bye.
some. Oh,
And she leaves.
I guess that's fair.
Anna sees the book that JJ is reading and is like, "Hey, what is that book you're reading?"
Oh, thanks for asking. This is The Forgotten Realms. Do you know anything about like fantasy books?
Is that like D&D or something?
Yeah, it's actually kind of like the same thing. So basically, the guys who made D&D wrote like these books kind of based on the characters that like live in the D&D world. So like this one's about like a dark elf named Dritz who's got like a panther. And I realized that everybody in the car is just kind of looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I've read this one a couple times. Do you want to borrow it?
Um, Maybe. I mean, it sounds really cool. My brother used to play D&D, so I know like
Really?
a little bit about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'd love to talk to him. I pull out like this notebook. I'm like, I'm actually my non-magical friends back home, and I had a campaign going for a while, and so I'm kind of making my own, and it was going to be set in this, fantasy world, but it got a little derailed with all of this, and I kind of look around at everybody. So yeah, if I'd love to talk with them about it. I don't know. Do they do? I didn't know that Wizards did Dungeons and Dragons. Seems like it's their whole thing.
Well, I mean, he doesn't do it at school. Like he does it with his non-magical friends back home.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Seems pretty silly if you ask me. And at this point, I'd like to think Alex is just like halfway into his candy bar and it is just all over his face. Cause like we're gonna be doing real magic pretty soon. So like I get I get it. I used to want to like know all about like the imaginary whatever. We're really good. Real wizards. We're gonna be going on real adventures. We're gonna be going like up to mischief, maybe, and we're gonna be learning how to like make spells and like change our hair colors, huh? Eh, eh?
Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Sure.
So the train ride continues for a long time. I feel like 10 hours is a lot, but probably not. You guys, you get to know each other a little bit. You get bored. You start reading and doing your own thing. You rummage around the car. You get meals served to you. It's like a plane ride, guys. I'm sorry. And
Are we playing Mash, Paris? Is Paris making us all play Mash?
yes.
Mash and
Oh my god, that takes me back.
what was it? Mash, Pets, and what was the other one? There was 3 of them.
I wasn't cool enough to play these games.
And Dress.
I don't know those.
Dress was the other one. Oh man, I can show you guys. They're so fun.
I only know MASH.
So that's how you spend your time. You play MASH, you learn how to play Dress. I'm assuming someone breaks out the fortune teller, which Alex finds hilarious, because we're going to learn how to really do it. And as you guys have a grand old time, you really get to know each other, and a much longer time than we have allotted because we're behind.
Did you call that a fortune teller? You mean a cootie catcher?
Is that what that is? I
Yeah.
used to
call
tell
it-
fortunes.
We call it fortune teller too.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a Florida thing. Who knows?
cootie catcher. Do you do Cat's Cradle?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, just want to make sure that's the same thing.
This is why we're over time.
I'm
So
sorry. All right.
eventually, if you guys said Alex, you said you wanted to look out the window.
I did not,
Unfortunately
but
for
he will.
I'm assuming you do that in the beginning when everyone starts going to their books and stuff. You're just taking in the view, and you notice this a long time ago that you get to see the English countryside full of pastures and little quaint little brick homes, and then you get to the beaches, and then you're on the water, and you're mostly on the water the entire time. Finally, you start to see coastline again after a long day of the sunlight reflecting in your eyes. And you pull onto the shore. The train pulls into a station where you all disembark, and you find a young man wearing he's wearing a somewhat official looking student robe that has gold trim on every part of it, and a big ornate H that you recognize as the stamp from the respective letters in the wax seal. He has really wild black hair though, and his clothes underneath are very frumpy, and he's wearing like combat boots, kind of. He has round glasses and a striped scarf of black and gold, and he's there welcoming everybody, and then saying, board the bus as quick as you can. First years to the red bus. Board the buses. Your luggage will follow you. First years to the red bus. And so you guys, with your respective personal items, are now off of the train, and you're seeing this young man direct everyone. And what he's pointing at are a line of, let's say a few, like 3 or 4. Is anyone familiar with the City-Rama Citrion 55? It's French.
I should have
Wait, the what?
Googled it. Spell it again. Say
You
it
should have
slowly.
Googled it, Garrett. It is a City-Rama Citrion, Citreon 55. What you all see are these boats. They have a pointed bow that bend around, and they come up this trim comes up the side over onto the top like a handle, and it is a 1.5 decker greenhouse on wheels shaped like a boat. That's what you all board.
Cool.
You guys get the red one. Everybody else is on the gold trimmed ones.
Oh.
And again, there is 1.5 decker bus, and as you're looking around and gawking at these things, an orangutan walks up carrying some luggage and finds you, JJ.
I take the luggage. And I don't even say it thanks. I just take the luggage. And I kind of look at these buses, and I sort of look at the group, and I'm like, well, I guess this way. And the
Wait,
orangutan, without me asking, takes my hand as I start to walk that way. Sorry.
I was just gonna ask you, is that your orangutan?
Yeah, I can't get rid of him. I don't know if this happened to you, but when magical things started to happen to me, this orangutan just showed up and started following me around everywhere, and now I can't get rid of him. And my town was a small town in Ohio, and everybody kind of freaked out, and yeah, so they had to send me here quickly. And
Now you're not alone. I mean, you were complaining earlier about being alone.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
Just
not.
pointing out the obvious.
Well, he can't talk, and he's not like he's my friend. He showed up and ruined my life. So yeah, great. I walk to the bus.
I'd like try to half whisper to Paris. They're holding hands. I bet they're best friends, from my opinion.
Paris nods in agreement. Yeah, for sure. Hey, question to the group, and hopefully JJ can still hear that says we're all walking towards the bus. Nobody thinks it's weird that our bus is red and everybody else's bus is gold.
Are we on the special bus?
Oh no.
That's how they delineate the first years. They even said, he said first years to the red bus.
Yeah,
right?
but why does all the other years get gold?
Because they're different? No? I don't know, actually. I actually start to think about it.
I wonder if they're trying to put us somewhere different. Like maybe this is maybe we're not even in the school yet. Maybe we're just being tested to see if we're good enough wizards to even go to this place. Think about it. Why
Do
else
they
would
do
we have
stuff
our own
like that?
bus? Maybe. At my dad's wizarding school, they did all kinds of crazy things.
Okay.
Keep your wits about you. I'll take point.
I
And Alex goes to the front of the group.
He pushes me out of the way as well, which is hilarious. I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure. I didn't want to fight anybody anyways. And I sort of
Alex.
Yeah.
Make a. I don't know why my brain is telling me, or my gut is telling me grit, but that's what grit is. So I
fine.
want you to do a grit roll for me. This is another makeshift perception roll.
Right. Cool. Ba-ba-bum. It's a good old fashioned 3. What was I aiming for?
Okay. That's what you. Oh, what were you aiming for?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing a perception check, so I'm just kind of
Okay.
going off a scale of 1 to 10. All right, so you roll a you roll. Sorry, you see what is likely. Is the way I'm going to put it. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. And I say see what likely because that is essentially how the game determines what a 3 is on a scale of 1 to 20 is. You've done what is likely, nothing outstanding and nothing impressive. So you just notice that there's a crowd building up in front of the red bus, so to speak. And then that some of the students are they're kind of moving about. Okay, all right, fine. And that some of that crowd is now dissipating back toward some of the gold buses. Because you're all making your way to the red bus, I assume, or are you not?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So as you look back, you see the student, the official-looking student with the scraggly hair, glasses, and striped scarf, kind of talking it's like he's talking to one of the drivers and pacing back from what was the third bus in the line back toward your bus, and he's going up to that window, and you notice that the third bus is now red as well.
Was it gold before? Whoa. Was it gold before and it turned red? Is that what you mean?
Yes. So he says, and I'm making you guys roll for this. He says, he just kind of yells at the guy in the window. He says, all right, we should have enough room for them all now. And he heads back. And he goes, all right, first years to the red buses, returning students to the gold buses. And he goes back to what he's doing and making sure that everyone is getting where they are. But since you guys are the last ones to get off the train, most everyone's kind of boarded already. So now he's wandering off to go deal with the luggage.
After he says that, I want to look at what the returning students look like. Are they much older? When you go to high school, oh, that's obviously a senior. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out with my eyeballs which the returning students are, using my brain to decipher that's a returning student because ABC, whatever.
Do a brainy perception check for me. So a scale of 1 to 20. Sorry if you can't hit 20, but you always can because you can have a lucky break.
Oh no.
Oh, that's your crit. We got We got a
No.
critical failure.
No, my 20
Belly
is
belly?
a blonde. My 20
Oh,
is a
it's Braun? Oh,
blonde.
sorry. You rolled a 1.
My brains is a
Ah.
Oh, I was
12.
really excited for the alarms to go off. Sorry, Justin. Cancel.
Cancel
Cancel.
the crit.
86 the alarms.
Crit's not
Okay,
real
so
yet.
you rolled a 1.
I rolled 1.
You can't tell. You
I
can't.
don't.
A lot
That's a
of
little
the
very
returning
stressful.
students are, they're middle schoolers to high schoolers. They're 12-year-olds to 18-year-olds. And you look at the group boarding the red buses. And by the way, you get an adversity token for that last roll. Don't forget.
I actually wanted. Can I spend an adversity token to try and fix my other roll? Because look, I was in a similar situation earlier where I tried to use my brains to figure something out and I screwed it up. So I feel like
Technically you can to, I think, get an extra point, but you rolled a 1.
yeah, I guess that's
You
fair.
rolled a 1. The 2 is not going to help you much more, because what you do notice is not helpful information. It's that a lot of the students boarding the red buses are kind of a mix as well. You really can't tell them apart.
Okay.
That's all I'm
Alright.
gonna tell you. So there is now room on the third bus that you kind of just passed, because there was a crowd building outside the fourth one. So you got to backtrack a little bit, and they let you on to the third bus. Most of the kids on this bus don't really care for the upper deck. There's space in the bottom if you want. Probably most of it's standing room, but if you want to go to the upper deck, you can probably find a seat.
I'd love to go to the upper deck. Are you kidding me? That'd be so cool to see everything.
Yeah, we'll probably have a better vantage point from up there. Good idea.
Yeah. I think they're
So-
just trying to get us to the school, man. I mean, I like where your head's at. Like, it sounds fun. I mean, you would know, I guess. Okay, all right.
So you guys head to the upper deck. You're getting settled, and then right as you do, another young kid, the one that spoke to you on the train earlier, Alex, runs down the aisle to the back of the bus and says, and you hear a kid going, "I'm gonna sit upstairs," and then he runs down the aisle and he sits in the back and he just kind of like plants himself and goes, and just kind of like relaxes, and that's the crowd you guys are and then there's other kids like mingling around, but mostly it's you guys. It is the golden hour, the magic hour, as it were.
My orangutan's fur looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, the way that halo effect coming through the fur, yeah, it's great. It really does look like a magical orangutan. Maybe some kids mistake it for one, thinking it's a fantastic mythical beast of some sort, but it's an orangutan, which I doubt they've seen before anyway, so who cares? Okay, so you are on the bus, the sun is setting, and you are following the caravan into the world. It's very familiar to most of you. Like, you don't recognize it, but it's not like you're on a foreign planet or even really a foreign country. Everything seems kind of normal. You guys have a great view of everything. It's a quaint-ish town, somewhat of a city of industry, but as you get further and further in, and right as it's getting dark, you pull into a park, and the buses make a circle, like a semicircle-ish thing out in the lot. By the time you get off the buses and collect all your things, it is officially night, and all you can really make out is that there's a lighthouse. You kind of really can't see it because it's bright and it's dark everywhere else, so you don't really get to see the actual lighthouse itself. But there's a floating bulb in the sky, casting light from a house. Everyone is coming off the bus. You follow the crowd unless anyone has objections to this, Alex.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Also, a little perplexed because last time I was on a bus that looked like this, it just moved without driving anywhere. So JJ's very kind of confused, and it's like, okay. I tell that to the group. I say, I rode one of these to the train station, and it took me from Ohio to England in literally an instant, and then we just drove. Is this normal? I kind of look at you, Paris, and then because you're a witch, right? You're born from witch wizard parents. Did we talk about that?
Oh, yeah, I've got magical abilities since I was a baby.
Yeah, but your parents, like, you would know about this world, right?
Yeah,
So that it just drives?
yeah. I don't understand why you're so perplexed about this.
Because it,
This isn't rocket science, kid.
I looked at Anahit
Just
kind of
go
like,
with the flow.
it did. Okay,
Don't ask
with the
me.
flow I go. Great.
I only know a little bit.
All right. I'm going to retcon just a moment to say that conversation happens on the bus before you board
Mhm.
or get off, I mean. And then I'm
Perfect.
going to speak out of game and say, dang it, Garrett, I knew I was going to regret improvising that. Okay. Nothing makes sense. Which was the theme of session 0. So you have this conversation, you're all on your guard a little bit, which is probably good because now you're walking through the woods at night and you really don't see a whole heck of a lot in front of you. You're kind of just going off of that there's people in front of you all being led by a kid with scraggly wild hair and a lantern. But as you get further and further into the wood, and it becomes a denser forest, so to speak, you start to see off in the distance the flickering lights and torches of a castle. And this is where I was going to do the reveal, but
Ooh.
Oh.
right, I'm glad I didn't because we're coming to the end of the game for tonight's session at least. But yeah, you come across this smoky looking castle. I'm not saying it looks exactly like this, but why not? This is really nice.
But I'm
It's
not
dark.
saying it doesn't look like this. All right. Sorry.
I can only customize this thing so far. But it's too dark for you to really make out any real features. You just see that it's stone and that the stone is kind of smoky and gray. You can I'll say Paris can sense that there is an ornateness about it, but you can't really distinguish its features.
Her fashion
Um,
sense.
huh?
Mhm.
It's her fashion sense.
Yeah, it's her fashion sense. Yeah,
Wow.
nice. I'm
My
surprised that it
aesthetic.
didn't come from Zach, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, so but the kid, the older child, is still sitting with the lantern, and he's ushering everybody in, and as you go inside, you see other kids. They come in, and you're following them through a couple of corners, not much, and then the road forks, so to speak, left and right, and this is where
It's
you
one of the
see.
tests.
This is where you see another member of the school, and you can tell because they are also wearing the H on his lapel. This is an older man who uh, has a steelier gaze. Um, his hair is also wild, but it's only wild on the sides. He doesn't have anything on the top.
Mhm.
Wearing
I laughed.
and he's he's not it's comparatively from what you've seen this morning, he's not dressed too dissimilarly from the young man you saw before, where he has a long coat that could be mistaken for robes, but he's kind of wearing like a suit underneath. His coat is like it's tweed and it's rugged, but it's definitely invoking robes, but not the like pristine uh student robes that you all have or that what most of the other people are wearing. It's definitely worn in. And a suit, just a full on like suit underneath. The collar is a little high, like the neck, like it's a collarless lapel, high collar shirt with a tight knot, and then a vest. So it's like it's all right here, and then it's just suit. Okay.
Wild.
And he's doing what the other one was doing before. Returning students head to the right, new students to the left. Returning students to the right, new students to the left. So you follow.
I kind of look down to Alex to take his lead on this as we take this fork, just to see if, you know, he's noticed anything. Have you noticed anything?
Can I roll something for that? I wanna really make a good lookout.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if the students that are going, the new students are going, seeing if they are robots. Like, how do I put this? To see if they're really like
JJ is
thinking
regretting
about it
this
or just
decision
going.
to trust Alex right now.
Okay. Sure. Roll.
Is there an "Are they robots" roll?
This is a gut feeling. Roll grit.
Yeah, that's fine. What if they're under a spell? You didn't think about that. Alex did. That's an 8. What am I shooting for?
It's a scale of 1 to 20.
Okay.
I'm probably aiming too high when I do all these rolls for you guys. Fine, 1 to 10. You do, yeah. They're just kids. They're just kids. They're laughing. The ones especially going to the left, the returning students, they're just moving right along. They're laughing and joking, and they're like touching the walls, and they have this kind of eagerness about them. You feel like they're excited to be here.
All right.
Okay. And then 8, I'll give it to you. The first years, like yourselves, have no idea what's going on and are not that thrilled to be here. There's a sullenness about them.
Is the guy with the crazy hair, the younger one, still like around?
Well, you guys were probably, you weren't in the back of the line like you were getting onto the City Rama Citrians 55s. So by this point, you're kind of milling around the front. Yeah, he's not far behind you, and he's ushering in the last of the students. And as he does so, he turns in and he says, or do you want to talk to him first? As he starts to speak.
I kind of wanted to talk.
Okay, what do you want to say?
So Anna, goes up to the guy with the crazy hair, and she's like, "Hey, I really like your scarf and your boots. Where did you get them?"
Oh, I've shop. I've just had them for ages. Can't really seem to part with them. It's my lucky scarf. Actually, no, this is not my lucky scarf. This one is for the school. I got the black and gold when I became school president.
Oh wow, you must be really smart then.
Oh, I mean, I just do my best. Do you need help with anything? We gotta be in a moment.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to see like how much further do we have to go, and like why are we being like separated from the other kids, like the returning kids? Like why are we being separated?
Oh, because they all have a table, and you're getting yours.
Oh,
Yeah. So they're all just heading into the front entrance, and then you guys are the new students. Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Tom. Thomas. Call me Tom. Sorry, I'm still used to being official. I am school president, Thomas M. Hyman, and I'm here to help orient you to the new school. So first years, you're just going to head at the end of the one hall. I'm gonna go meet with the faculty at the end of the other side of the hall, and then we'll all meet in the grand cafetorium. All right?
Okay, cool.
There's-
Oh, actually, no.
Right.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Professor Phillips. I've got this group. You can head in with the faculty. And the guy who was standing there says, "Don't be late," and leaves. He follows the students, the returning students, into the entrance on the end at the end of it's that hallway. Not the end of the hallway, but it's a good ways down.
He
Door on
goes
the right.
away.
You guys are going the opposite direction. You guys are going to go the opposite direction. Follow me. And we're going to head into this door here on the left. And he stands by the door the same way he did the first time. And he says, and just go have a seat along the back wall, okay?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he just says, "Cool, thanks, bye."
Okay. And you're just, I mean, were you guys following him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
checks
guess
out. He
so.
checks out.
Checks out. Cool. So yeah, he's just standing by the door, and it's his job to kind of keep an eye on the new students. So he just stands by the door, and he says, "Everyone, go ahead and have a seat right here along this short wall here. You are now in this vast room that expands, and as you come into it, the walls, like, they're black stone with I don't want to say it's that kitsune thing, but they've got this
Boxy.
huh
Nothing. Continue.
Stupid.
they're black stone with a goldish like mortar between them. It almost feels like polished marble and gold, but as you get further in there, the gold kind of softens into this amber color. It starts to feel like the embers are glowing kind of thing against these black coals that have made it the line of the walls. And as each of you each have this sensation as you come into the hallway, or the grand cafetorium, as it were. It warms up, and the black starts to brighten, so to speak, into a warm, sandy tan. And conversely, the mortar between them softens into a fairly indistinguishable kind of gray, and it feels like just warm stone. The whole room, and as your vision kind of adjusts, that's what it feels like. To this room, it towers upward. You can follow these long columns that taper off at the top, holding up a flat ceiling, and you are in this big boxy room made of stone. On the far side is a fairly high up stage that doesn't have a proscenium on it. It's just this jutting further into the wall that kind of rounds off at the ends. And before, it's still wide, not a round room. Before then is a long table with what you can only assume are tons of faculty members, a good dozen or so faculty members sitting. Just off to the side is a podium. Draping each of these items, especially noticeable on the table, are triangular pieces of fabric. Black on the edges, a gold one in the middle with a phoenix in the center, like embroidered into it. What?
That's amazing.
I'm so sorry. I was like, that is a very different school. It's great. I thought you said Phoenix. Yeah.
I did say Phoenix.
Yeah.
There's
No.
a Phoenix. It is not
I'm
that
just-
school.
I know
It's
I'm
not
being
that Phoenix
sarcastic.
University. It's not that
It's
one.
fine. I'm sorry.
But the fabric dull. They're bright, but they're just nice stone walls. You know, there's nothing really ornate about them. The columns are a little decorated. They got some carving in there, but they're old, and they're mostly just columns with caps. It's a flat roof, though, is like the edges of it. There's fire, just like dripping on the sides, and that's the light source in this room. It's really cool, guys.
That's exactly how I imagined the University of Phoenix.
Yes. Anywho, the drapings are different. The drapings are ornate. They've got texture, they've got depth to them. Like it's a nice little fabric. It's like they picked out a good one for this. Before the stage are 5 long tables with a winding black strip down the middle of them. And lining each one of these tables on benches are the returning students, all in their black robes, mingling and moshing, and there's gaps in the seats between them, but they're all just kind of like finding a spot around these tables. And you still can't tell who's who or what's what, but you see 5 tables with a bunch of students on them. Whereas the rest of the students with you guys, because you're at the big black stone. Oh, sorry, it's tan now. So you guys are just sitting on essentially what is a short wall built into the back of the room. It's slabs. With the exception of any students who are using wheelchairs, whereas they can just kind of like coast backwards, and then the stone behind them just like you can hear it glide into the wall.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's cool.
awesome.
And the last thing you notice, because I'm going to tell you everything about this room, is there are 4 doors. So there's the one you came in, there's the one that you saw the other students come in, and like an airplane, there's one on the opposite side. So you guys came in on the left side of the back of this auditorium. As you come in, you find a seat and you turn, and you can face forward. All right? Everyone settled? Everyone good?
This is a beautiful room.
Tom's asking this. Like everyone settled? Everyone good?
Yeah.
All right. Quiet coyote or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like holding my orangutan's hand and looking around.
So just there's the lulls of the room begin to quiet down, and you might have noticed a woman standing next to the podium. She has red-brown skin and short, not quite a bob, but short white hair that has like an ombre to where you can't tell if it's the tips or the underside of her do that is black. Garrett recognizes her. She's wearing what are called mestiza robes. They're very lacy on the top, very elegant and formal. They've got butterfly sleeves and a high collar that comes around and crosses in the front, clasped with a brooch that is also a phoenix. But the H is like, it's not present on her. Everyone else has that H. She does not. Or at least the people you've seen have the H. The rest of her top, it's very lacy, but from the waist down is just draped. Like it looks like silk. I'm not saying she's bougie. She's only got like a bracelet and a pinky ring on, which you might be able to tell far away as she waves her hand over the crowd to try to hush everyone down. And then she steps behind the podium, which my people from the non-magic community might recognize as weird because there's no microphone there. But she begins to speak.
Weird.
You did notice?
No, that's weird. I just have been snacking on my adversity tokens.
Cool, man.
I'm so sorry.
No, you need those. She begins to speak. Before I do this, because I'm about to take the stage, y'all. Does anyone want to do anything? Any roles? Any?
No.
Okay. All right. So she begins to speak, and you at the back of the room have no problem hearing her. Is it the acoustics of these drapeless walls? Is it magic? You're not sure. But she says, "Welcome, witches, wizards, and warlocks, casters of every kind, to Hayvenhearth School of Sorcery. I am Principal Gwyneth Ursula Lissagoy, and as principal of this school, I have the privilege of representing the faculty and welcoming each of you for a new semester of study in the magical arts and sciences." And she initiates a clap, all the faculty clapping, and the students are the returning years are definitely clapping. You guys can if you want. She goes, "Some of you may notice we have more students joining us than in previous years. Perhaps you've noticed that many of them are coming from the British Isles. And I expect that many of you are aware of the dark wizard who became a destructive force there and forever tarnished the wizarding world. And she takes a beat.
Look at Alex.
Yeah, too. Me all about him. I'll tell you later.
It is of my opinion that this person, twisted by power and charged by fear of the other, led a crusade against their own kind under the guise of preserving a rightful place, leaving a legacy of bigotry and violence. I do not name this person out of fear, like some might, certainly not out of respect, or because their chosen pseudonym is as absurd as it is abhorrent, but because this singular figure is not where our concern lies. Rather, I address the dark mark their indifference placed on all of us. A great number of magical people no longer feel safe or welcome in their community that they have thrived in for most of their lives. Some of these people are your parents. Some of them are you. We, here before you, believe that your existence is sacred and worth protection and nurture. Each member of this faculty, your fellow students, can offer you a home. We understand the unease of joining a new school, especially when so dedicated to your magical pursuits, when it has become your identity, when you can recognize your friends by what club or house they belong to. But we hope that what you learn and experience here enriches that source of magic within each of you, helps each of us become the best version of ourselves, and makes for a better, more magical world. And the faculty start initiating clapping, and the students are kind of like golf clapping along. So, to my returning students, let us then welcome our new friends and peers into their Hayvenhearth home rooms. And one guy comes around and hands her this beautiful drapery. It's silvery and blue and orange at the same time. It's got a lot of sheen and design into it. You kind of really can't tell what you're looking at. And the more it moves, the more it reflects light. And he gets up, he hands it to her. She brings it over, and she lifts it up, and then with a flourish, like a pro, stands in the middle of the stage a 3-sided full-length mirror. Sorry, the man who gave her that is the guy you saw out front with the
hair.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Then before the stage, just like you heard these moving slabs again, jut out steps, much smaller than the slabs you're sitting on, but steps come out leading right up in front of this 3-sided mirror. And as this is happening, the returning students are roaring. They are loving this. And everyone is cheering. And the man in the back now, he's a large man, he has broad shoulders and a booming voice, begins to announce the names of students. And he begins with Paris Colourpop.
Me?
So Tom, because you're sitting right there next to Tom, he says, is that you? Stand up, go. And the students are clapping. It's like the golf clap, but they're excited. Yeah, they know what's about to happen.
Oh my gosh, am I about to have my Mulan moment, 1998, baby?
It is 1998.
Yeah!
Okay, so let's see
save
what your
China.
reflection shows is inside. You ready?
Okay, yes.
Okay, so you come down the hall, everyone's cheering and like waving at you, and you know you're an attractive older girl, so like the boys are just like, yeah, hey, hi, hope you're with us. Um, and I should say, not that this really matters, but there's no like main aisle. There's just space between all five of these things. So you've got like the closest aisle to you is kind of off to the side. So as you make your way, if you go that way, you make your way down, you come around to the center, and then you head up the steps.
Okay.
All right. You stand before the mirror. Stand before the mirror. And you like almost as if in your peripheral. You don't even know where it's coming from. You don't even know what the source is. But it's kind of like the edges of the glass start having this rainbow effect. The glass itself starts to have that cool like pearlescence that rainbow glass has, very subtly, and as it wavers and changes and it settles, and then suddenly all of that faint glow lights up, and so do you as your lapel shines bright red.
Whoa!
And he announces the Ruby House of LaFay.
Ooh.
And then your lapel remains, but the lights go off in the mirror, and the Ruby House of LaFay, the one you passed first, glows. The black streak turns red, and you are welcomed with uproarious applause to that house. Sorry, that homeroom, as they're calling it.
All right.
All right. So you make your way down. Okay.
I whisper to the others, we should all try to stick together. Think red when you go up. That way all four of us could be the same one, okay?
I think that's how
That's
it
fun.
works.
You're saying this as other students are being called up
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
going through their sorting. You see a few. You see different colors happen, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. You don't know what they are.
I asked Alex. I asked Alex and Anahit, have you heard of a LaFay? Is that like the LaFay from American history?
Maybe? I don't know.
I don't think I've heard of that one before. Sorry.
Anahit Crowley.
Oh,
Think red.
man. Anahit gets up and looks over at Tom, or wait, was that his name?
Yeah, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, for like reassurance. Like, me? Like, am I supposed to go up now?
And Tom says, because he talked to you earlier and he knows how like kind of uncertain you are. He says, "Yeah, just head down the aisle and up the steps."
What if I don't like? She says to like, what if I don't like what I'm Like, what if I don't want to be in that house though?
He says, "Well, you can always talk to Mr. Phillips, I suppose."
What's that?
Professor Phillips. Anahit Crowley.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Think happy thoughts. Okay. So he just turns and just like composes herself, and
So some of the kids are they're egging you on. They're like rooting for you. Woo! There's a few that recognize the Crowley name, and they're like, yeah, like Crowley, like they're chanting, like hoping they're gonna get in your house, or you're gonna join their homeroom.
how do they know my name?
Because I shouted it twice.
No, but like, okay. I mean, like, I guess because of my siblings or whatever. Right?
Crowley, whether Anahit is aware, is she not aware?
No, I mean,
You know, I know you know.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, okay, great. So you're having a wonderful time now.
Oh,
Your
no.
little introverted self. I apologize. You make your way up the steps, and as you do, the man says, "Step in front of the mirrors, please." And he's not trying to be a dick about it, but he's not like the warmest guy. So you step in front, and again, the colors swirl, and for you, they do it bright. They start doing it brighter, and they start flashing a little more apparently, and you hear it's like you hear voices in your head that aren't yours, saying, "Oh, she's focused. Yeah, she's focused, but she's full of knowledge. She sees knowledge. No, but she's focused as knowledge. But she's about love. She has a loving heart. Yeah, she seeks love. Love is, but she's an immortal. She has immortal about her. That's not possible. No, she's about knowledge." And they finally go, "The Amethyst House. Whoops, the Amethyst House of Himiko."
What now? And he just is like, oh my god, what just happened? What?
So on the far side, because these tables are arranged in Roy G. Biv, or for the many students from the British Isles, Richard of York, the purple house the purple table lights up the strip, and all the students are cheering. Their cheers are not hooting and hollering like I would say the Ruby House has. Theirs are just like they're clapping really hard. There's a few woos, but yeah, a lot of female empowerment kind of yelps over there. Just
Fun
saying.
stuff. Okay.
You know,
Huh?
female empowerment yelps.
It's like the rebel yell, but better.
Yeah.
Like Xena Warrior Princess, where she's like, you know, yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
ballet-
it's
Dang
less-
it, I wish I could
it's
be over
not
there.
raucous, but it's they are cheering for you.
Yes.
Okay.
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 Um,
They're splitting us up.
It's
so
okay.
more
It's
students are
okay.
filling in, or going down the line, and you're starting. Especially you two fellas, you're noticing all of the colors and the tables are lighting up, and you've got an idea of like how this works and such. But as you're talking, you hear Jeremy Johnson.
Don't like my first and last name together. Okay. And I walk up onto the stage. Does my orangutan come with me? I guess he does. Or does he not?
Yeah.
Cool.
No,
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
How about
guess
this? I
you-
go up on stage and he kind of looks at me and lets me walk. And I just sort of like now have to walk up on stage by myself, which is not at all what I love, but here I go. So I go up on stage alone. And as I look in the mirror, I'm mostly just thinking about my friends and everybody and how I'm in a room full of strangers. That's basically what I'm looking at.
Well, I hate to say that Professor Phillips doesn't care about any of that.
I'm sure he doesn't.
You're ushered down, by the students applauding for you, wave and the colors flurry, when it finally lands on the Sapphire House of Hermes.
Oh my gosh, your castle is lighting up. Has that done that for the last two houses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like looking at everybody else's reactions. That's incredible. Sorry, this is outside of this is Katie responding to it. That's amazing.
That's okay. A lot of the students have had a similar reaction to the trifold mirror when it lights up. So
Wow.
Was
it's appropriate. You're
anybody
just adding to the
cheering?
ambiance here.
Is anybody cheering for me to join their house, or did I walk up in silence?
So next to Hamiko's homeroom table, the blue streak lights up to help identify you to the homeroom table for the Sapphire
I
House.
look over at Alex as I walk to my new house, and I kind of do one of these, like, sorry.
Since Katie was speaking for some of our NPCs, so to speak, I'm just doing this for the show, y'all. You hear another name, Euphemia C. Taro, and a dark-skinned girl with her hair braided up into a top bun, wearing a floral top under her robes. She walks down the hall, stands before the podium, and I think one of you actually did speak to her earlier. I don't remember who it was on the train, but one of you recognized her. She stands before the podium, and Professor Phillips exclaims, "The Emerald House of Solomon!" And the lights go off, except for on the table. She heads towards her table in the middle and sits down there. And then finally, toward the end of this whole process, is our last person, Alex Needler. And Tom has worked out that it's one of the few remaining students, so it's not hard for him to identify that you're looking around and doing that. So Tom just politely gestures forward.
I woke up. I kind of just give like polite waves. I wave to the three of them, kind of just like well wishing myself to like Nubio. Good to see you.
So you head down, and you've watched, Alex. I'm assuming you've been paying attention to this the most. You've watched the steps, kind of just for people. They've turned into a ramp for the student with the wheelchair. They kind of like, I'm not saying they fluctuate often, but you've seen them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, just letting you know.
Oh no.
Magic steps. You make your way
So
up.
they're not robots. Okay.
What?
So they're not robots. Got it.
They're not robots.
Alex has seen way too much of the Terminator movies, the first two at this point.
Yep.
It's like his go-to.
Is it a robot?
So, yeah. So you say before the thing, and again, like Anahit, yours, as the lights go on, they start to flicker and brighten a bit more, not as much, and you don't hear it as much as I demonstrated earlier with Anahit, but you hear some voices being like, "Oh, he's young. He's still as much to decide. He's eager. And so he's eager as a personality." And he's got love in his heart. No, but he's a thrilling point. He's got a good soul. He's a positive person. I think he's come from the Muggle community. And they're just like, there's all these whispers happening around in your head. And then finally, just like out of nowhere, it blasts, "The Amber House of Cersei." And then the lights go off, except for the table, and just to the left of where you, or just to the right of where you came in, just to the left of where you walked down, is a glowing yellow strip or amber colored strip in the center of a table. And these kids be hollering. They're not rowdy, but they are in it. They are cheering. They are thrilled, very excited. And you have a seat.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately one turns to you, one of the kids you saw get sorted, and he says, Hi, I'm Kat.
I'm Alex.
It's really nice to meet you. I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too, actually.
And then behind you, you hear, shh. These are the kids who told you about the last train car. And so the one who said, like, it's by the bathrooms, is shushing both of you. She's in the house, or the homeroom table next to you, the green one. And Kat goes, he goes, "Sorry, sis." And then as this conversation gets cut off, Miss Principal Lissagoy addresses the room once again behind the podium. "You all belong to a club of fellow students who, throughout the year, will be earning marks of excellence starting this coming Monday. Active participation, exemplary behavior, and a great deal of fun will be awarded with points toward winning the esteemed Hayvenhearth Honorary Showpiece." And when she says that, Professor Phillips takes that sheet, drapes it over the mirror, and as he brings it back down, is now standing this very elegant statue of a person. You can't quite make out like any real details about them. That they're standing with one foot sort of in front of the other, with their hands above their head, holding a large ornate cup. The body of the statue is more like kind of an onyxy thing, whereas the cup is very gold, with like what you can only presume from a distance are all these multicolored gemstones catching different light sources in the sense, and then like a fairly ornate base that blends it all together. And it's a statue, but it's like it's at least a yard high. Like it comes up to about Professor Phillips's waist. And the kids are clapping and cheering, and you notice behind that statue, behind the table, banners start rising up from the floor. And Principal Segoy continues to say, now, if you all recall, these were the places that points held at the end of our last term. And they all start rising, but then a few stop pausing. And now that they're in view, you see that it's all of these these 5 jewel-toned banners that correspond with the tables, just crawling up the walls. And just before the top on each one of them are 2 silver bands. And then as they continue to rise, they stop rising. The ruby one reaches the furthest and almost meets not the very tip top of this monumental wall, but it goes high up. And its silver bars turn gold. With Ruby, the Ruby House of Lefay being last year's Victor and Cup recipient. But again, a new year begins on Monday, and I expect greatness from each of you. And with that in mind, I'd ask that you, above all else, remember we are an academic institution. I encourage you to have fun and earn points that way, but remember we are here for studies. We are here to learn, and that every student attending this wizarding school has responsibilities to bear. New students and underclassmen will be tested for their final understanding of course curriculum, ensuring readiness for future scholastics. Students confident in their general courses and seeking electives must allow us to factor upperclassmen's cognitive competency towards entrance examinations, registration, and fields for specialized study. And perhaps, most importantly, our graduating students will need to readily present future university, college, trade, and education records for finishing school. Just something I think you all should keep in mind. And with that, let us have our supper. Her plate pops up first. It's awesome. It's an Italian pasta dish and fried chicken. And
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then like the whole like faculty table, just meals start springing up, and then like a wave down the tables, just food from every corner of this globe, every dish you can imagine, and some you've never seen before, just start popping up all over in front of each and every student, including your favorite meals from your hometown popping up in front of you. And for the remainder of the night, you talk amongst your fellow classmates and homeroom companions, making hopefully new friends, and then going off to a peaceful sleep with full stomachs. All right.
Woo!
And with that, we end our very first night in Hayvenhearth School of Sorcery.
Yeah.
And we never spoke to each other again.
We're all in different houses.
I know. What was my house again?
Whatever you do.
I'm in the Sapphire House of Hermes.
Hermes.
Nice.
Sapphire.
Yes.
Sapphire, yeah.
Sapphire
Cool.
House of Hermes.
Y'all not
oh,
writing it down?
I can't pronounce the last name,
I wrote it down.
but he's colloquially just referred to as Hermes.
Got it.
Was
Uh,
mine Hamiko?
Which is what one of your fellow
Yeah,
classmates said. Like, he's like, I can never remember the name. It's like Trigomitistis or something, but I just can never remember it. It's so complicated.
Cool.
And Greek isn't my first language.
First.
All right. So congratulations to
Yeah.
everyone. You have now officially enrolled in Hayvenhearth School for Sorcery.
We did it.
Woo!
Good job, Kevin. Way to go.
Yeah.
With everybody. What a wonderful first session.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do we want to do like we did for Dungeons and Dongos and do like a little postmortem? Just like a quick, or what's the plan now?
Are we still streaming this right now?
We are still streaming. The show is not over yet because
Okay.
what Garrett is referring to is a fun house rule that we have. It's my favorite house rule that was introduced to me by Zach, in which everyone watching tonight and everyone participating as well has 10 minutes past the end of this show to vote to who they believe had the most inspiring moment in the game. Our viewers may vote in the chat, either one. I will be scrubbing through this later, but please only vote once because it only counts once. Everybody gets one vote. And that includes all of you players as well. You can cast your vote now and make your case as to why you think your candidate should vote for it. And I think the best way to ease into that is, like Garrett suggested, is just, how'd you guys like the session?
Super fun.
Ooh.
Super exciting.
This one admittedly was very heavy on role play, and I was enjoying it so much that I didn't get in time for the physical activity that I have in store. That will be the top of next week's episode.
Cool.
Let's see. Some of my favorite moments. I loved the trolley cart interaction and Alex just like shoving candy into his mouth was hilarious. And the interaction that you and Paris had about changing your hair to a Justin Timberlake ramen yellow was
Which fits his house so perfectly that he's an amber. I was like,
Nice.
oh.
Prepared.
oh my gosh. I think that might have been my favorite interaction. I mean, everybody's like leaving their families was sad. Like, oh man, Liana when Anahit and like you had like that big old group hug, and it was the like awkward goth thing that was going on. Man, that was so great. It was such a visual, like visceral picture in my brain. I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
While we're chatting, I just want to remind the chat that I was also addressing you. Please comment with some of your favorite moments, your favorite comments. I will be passing this right along to our cast for further conversation and debate leading up to voting on those inspiring moments. I will tell you my favorite one if y'all want, or if anybody's got one, just feel free to steamroll right over me. But I absolutely loved when JJ was commenting on names and saying, like, you don't just call people where they're from. That's not a name. What's your name? To Paris.
That was wonderful. I loved the ease of which Paris was able to kind of just like fit herself into any situation as well. Like Anahit was like, "Oh, this one's kind of taken," and you're like, "Oh, cool, I'll just sit right here."
Yeah. I really liked Alex like kind of being the unlikely leader too. He's like the youngest of us, and like somehow he's like our leader.
I know.
Just I love because he's the youngest one.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if that's a trait of his house, but I'm not surprised by it. Sorry, homeroom.
They're
it's the
homerooms.
There are homerooms.
And I'm saying that for a reason that I'm hoping is apparent to you all. But
I'm gonna be honest. The thing that I'm the most excited about learning more about is Paris and Diamond's connection. that was just briefly mentioned, and I want to know what that is. Like they're like psychic link. I think you said something along those lines. I
Oh
want to
yeah.
know.
Oh, I guess you guys wouldn't have seen that in the little session 0
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
no, but
Oh
like
yeah.
as an observer, I'm like, tell me more. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure it came up in conversation on the train, but you hadn't had the chance to discuss it or demonstrate it. So
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, and Anna's like, "Oh, is that your real name?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't even know my backstory, do you?" And I love that she's the emo one, but I was like, "You don't even know." But I also was like, "Oh man, like now I want to know." I was like, "What is she, a vampire? Like, what is she? What is it? I want to know." But I don't know. I guess that was just an intriguing moment that I enjoyed.
Mm.
So
you all when I had the conversation of voices in her head talking about her qualities, I admittedly I tripped on one that you guys really noticed and left out another quality, which is that she's really into green magic, which is a trait of one of your houses. So she possesses qualities. I'm just gonna say this out of game. Sorry, like whatevs. She possesses qualities of every house, and it was very hard to place her. And
He threw the word immortal around at once, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I heard that. That's
Yeah.
awesome."
And why did you do that?
because as you all learn, you know what? You're at the tables, right? Let's continue. Let's continue the game just a little bit.
Oh,
And
boy.
this is not you guys role playing. This is just this. You guys are talking about your houses with. You're talking about your homerooms with your fellow students in your homeroom. So I'm assuming this is coming up. So here's the information I will give everybody about their homerooms. And the reason I'm bringing this up now is because chat, I want you to also, by the 10 minutes after the game, to sort yourselves and place yourself into which homeroom you think you belong best. So I will
Give 'em
simply
a
say
rundown.
that, huh?
Like, what are the homeroom qualities?
Yeah, so there are 5 homerooms that you in the chat can participate in our games with by being in the chat, voting, giving your comments, raising your favorite moments, shouting out and everything. You can earn house points for your respective homerooms. So you need to
Awesome.
sort yourselves out and ask deep down, are you one of the unstoppable dreamers of Ruby? Are you know what, let's go for it. Are you one of the unstoppable dreamers of Ruby? Are you one of the positively charged members of Amber? Are you part of the eloquent court of Emerald? Are you the bestowers of truth like those in Sapphire, or a knowing arbiter of Amethyst?
Wait, can you go back slower and do that
No.
again?
What I'll tell you guys, this is the conversation. That was for the chat. What you guys get is that
Sherman,
your
open up.
houses. I'm gonna pull up my notes. Um, your houses are not founded by anyone, but they are in honor of 5 notable wizards of legend. Okay. And we'll just go right across. Richard of York gave battle in vain. The Ruby House of Morgan Le Fay is
Yeah.
treated as such because rubies are sometimes called the Dreamstone and possess a hidden fire. Some say that rubies grant the power of invulnerability and that people like Rasputin use them to basically be immortal. But it is much more widely believed that they just have an element of stamina about them. Okay?
Okay.
You guys having fun?
Oh, this is so freaking exciting.
Great. I love it because I put so much
Yeah.
thought into basically just coming up with names for houses and then never bringing it up again. I had no intention to actually work this in to the plot. So this is all just for fun and for the chat and a little bit for myself. The Amber House of Circe of Greek legend, who some say
Represent.
is a minor goddess, but we witches, wizards, and warlocks know that she was a witch so powerful that people feared her like a goddess. She's actually not the temptress that people know her as. Yes, she turned people into animals, but they rightly deserved it. she's really just someone who's in touch with the earth. She loved potions. She loved herbs, and I know what some of you might be thinking. But Amber has been referred to as the tears of the gods. It is the sweat of the earth. It is electrically charged. In fact, this is true. The Greek word for amber is electron, and that's where we get that word. They absorb, and like the positively electrically charged people that they are, they absorb negative energy just like amber do. Yeah.
I love
They
that.
always pay their
Ability and
debts.
wisdom, but honestly, what stone isn't? Emerald is referred to as the jewel of kings. It is a stone of fortune, loved by Cleopatra and Solomon alike. In fact, Solomon's magic ring, most people believe, was made of emerald. But some also recognize that it's not all about fortune and fame. It's also the love stone. It's where the heart chakra lies, is with emerald. Sapphire has many names. Like, sapphires are like, they got a lot on their resume. They are referred to as the divine stone, the third eye, the bestower of truth, the stone of destiny, the guardian of innocence. That's all sapphire, you know? So, like, I'm just saying, you're not going to win the argument against them.
Are you
And
doing
then,
Are you kind of doing chakras?
I'm not
This.
doing chakras. The stones are.
Stones are.
And then way up here with your psychic power is amethyst. Amethyst is simple. It's about truth, it's about balance, and some good mental energy. Oh, sorry, I didn't talk about Sapphire's chaperone, I'll say. So Hermes Trismegistus is he's a figure from the 1st century. He's sometimes referred to as the father of the zodiac, and everything that we know about fixed stars comes from him, or at least is born of him. And he was a bit of a philosopher, a little bit of Egyptology, a little bit of the Greek pantheon is Hermes Trismegistus. Sorry. Back to Amethyst House. Anahit.
Mhm.
So Himiko was a ruler who lived from 170 to 248 AD in East Asia. Honestly, I believe she was a Japanese figure, but it's crazy how Korea and China have more legends about her than Japan does. And I think that's partly because she was very secretive. She kind of kept her and her court inside her palace, I guess. She had one man working for her as in their entire court, and she just focused on doing the job. The people loved her. They didn't get a lot of FaceTime with her because she was just, focused on the work, so to speak. But some say that she bewitched people, and that's why everyone loved her, because they didn't like the ruler before, and as soon as she left, they did not care for the new guy. But I just personally think that she's just occupied with sorcery and knows what she's doing. So, as a good ruler, she took care of her people, and her people loved her all for it. All right. So, those are the idols that represent each one of the houses, the homerooms, and they are colored accordingly: ruby, amber, emerald, sapphire, and amethyst. So by the end of the night, I want everyone to please leave their house in the chat and vote for who they think should have inspiration. So as we close out the night, everyone, who do you want to vote for?
Zach for a candy, face candy and robots.
Yeah, I agree, Zach.
I'm torn between Zach and Garrett. Do I have to choose right now?
Talk a little bit and explain what you're actually voting for. The recipient of inspiration will get one free re-roll tomorrow. And the next or
Ooh.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Like,
It was like,
One free
Only
April
available.
in the next session next Monday. So I'm not the big fan of throwing out rerolls left and right, and I promise you we're gonna have a lot more of them in the next game than we did tonight. So it will matter, and the further we get along the game, it's gonna matter all the more. So start practicing your voting disciplines now.
Give mine to Katie, because I'm just fascinated by where that character is gonna go.
yeah, awesome. That's awesome.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Garrett because I just like the dynamic between him and his dad and like the book stuff. I don't know. It seems like Anahit and him might have more like on the surface. Then it's on the surface, yeah. So yeah, I'm intrigued by him. So, and he had some great moments too.
Yes, Forgotten Realms, baby, bringing it back.
Oh man, I found out about I didn't realize there was a book series that's been going on for 25 books over the last 40 years that itself is a role-playing game system. It's like a choose your own adventure, but way more involved, called Lone Wolf. And I found out about it after we visited the Wizarding Bookshop, and I was like, man, I would have loved to drop that deep.
What? Yeah, I had no idea. I was glad I was able to talk about the Dark Tower series today as well. This
Yeah.
is going to be such a niche of only fantasy books Garrett has read. References.
Okay. I think everyone voted. I've got it logged on video, and as far as the chat, remember you've got until the end of our stream. I feel like it's been 10 minutes already, but you should have voted by now. I will be scrubbing through everything in the future, and we will see you again next week. But first, before we go, thank all of you for being here. This was something I've been pouring my heart and soul into, and every ounce of waking thought, which is why I've been kept up in the last couple nights, trying to prepare for this session, and it went off better than I could have asked. And that's because you fine players were here, participating and making this such a grand and fun experience, even if we didn't really get into the game mechanics as much as I was hoping we would, but we definitely will next session. And the fans. I know I haven't been talking to you guys much tonight because I've just been so invested in trying to get these guys started. But we are going to have lots of fun together. And I appreciate every last one of you who joined us tonight, who is voting right now, who is sorting yourselves in your houses. This is making my whole week. I cannot wait for next week. And it's not tomorrow, but I just had to give those thanks. I truly mean it. I need to give credit where it's due for Paul Vasilakos and Dylan Fernandez for making the greatest GM screen known to wizard kind. Alex Arntzen for our incredible opening fanfare. The man at the switchboard, Justin Zagari, who will be resuming Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow. That's what's happening here on Broad Strokes Production Twitch channel.
Yes.
And also to Twitch for hosting this session and next session of Broad Strokes Presents Walk on Rolls Dungeons and Detentions next Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune in for your next Walk on Roll.